Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love.
And also, we do it drunk. Mostly.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm the one who's it's been a rough weekend.
And also, we do it drunk. Mostly.
Mostly.
Do you want to start over? You want to do it over?
No. We just keep it rolling. Nobody, yeah, you guys just pretend that went really, really well.
You can say, hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast.
Oh, welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We have a great show for you.
Great show
tonight.
Every night.
Man,
best
we're so
show
excited.
in late night.
Blessed with so much nerdy shit this week. We're talking Arcane. We're talking Silo Season 2. We are talking Dune Prophecy.
Talking about it.
And as always, we're talking shit. Oh, and we're also talking about Invincible Fight Girl, which will be the first show that we talk about tonight. But very excited about all of that. I was very pleased with all of these episodes this week. Some more than others, but we'll get into it.
Some more than others. Who knows which ones we're talking about?
Yeah, that's what they call a tease.
Some of these sucked.
I actually enjoyed everything, but there's some that I was just like, all right.
I told you I'm gonna be on my Mark After Dark shit now.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be a great show for you guys. Just a real quick, want to get some house cleaning out of the way. I want to just remind you guys to check out the merch store where you can find hats, hoodies, shirts, mugs, and all kinds of stupid shit with our stupid name on it. So check out the merchandise tab in the YouTube channel if you want to check out that shit. It looks like we got a guest at the door.
No, we always have. He's not a guest.
He's not a guest. That's right.
We
He's
don't never
practically
say
family, but
guest.
we just hate it. Y'all just hate him because he's light skinned.
That's right.
What is up in Brandon?
I mean, I can't help how I was born, and it just hurts that they hold that against me. And I feel like I know what injustice feels like, guys.
Absolutely.
There's hate everywhere. There's hate everywhere.
White man's the most hated person in all the world. Everybody towards the white man. Nobody likes him.
And we didn't do anything to deserve it. I can't even finish it without laughing.
It's the oddest thing in the world, but
It's
we
so
make
strange.
it. We make do.
We make it. But yeah, how are you doing
I
today,
can't
and Brandon?
imagine
Like,
what
you ready
people-
to talk about this this nerdy shit tonight?
I am. I'm good. Sorry I'm a little late. A lot of cooking this week, and I did not plan out the shit I was going to try and make tonight before I hopped on here. So that's my own fault.
Hey, well, that sounds like a delicious
It
accent.
also sounds like my yesterday.
It will be. I'm doing a lot. Today's a lot of prepping, but it will be Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be a delicious day.
Okay, so you're doing the pre like Friendsgiving.
Oh, no. That's next week. I'm going to do Friendsgiving on Thanksgiving, but every month or so, I do a Not a Chef Jeff night where I just go and cook for friends. I was supposed to be teaching them to cook. Nope. So now I just cook. And we wanted an Italian one this week. So making a lot of, I made some pasta dough and some cheese tonight. I'll make 2 more pasta doughs tomorrow, a tortellini filling, and focaccia.
Man, like I like how you just make stuff. Like there was one time we were talking, you're just like, oh yeah, this is some soda that I made. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
No, the soda.
I got bored.
But the marshmallows, the flavored marshmallows, was even more wild.
One of them was root beer flavored.
I don't even
and
think I've seen.
those would give Alex a seizure or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is
I would
nothing but sugar, man.
It's like, but I would die happy, man.
But hey, you can make cheese too. It's only 4 ingredients. It's super easy.
That sounds super easy.
There you go.
It's all about the work. So
Dude, it's literally all you do. You take 7 cups of milk, 1 cup of cream, mix them together, bring them up to 200. Once it hits 200 degrees, take it off the heat, pour in 5 tablespoons of white vinegar, 3 teaspoons of salt, let it sit for 15 minutes, and then just drain the whey, and you have cheese. That's it.
It's our new segment called Not Chef Jeff. He's just gonna lay down some cool some cool food knowledge for you guys. But speaking of some of our speaking of some of our,
I'm gonna use it a lot today.
it's pretty great. It works perfectly.
It's like our version of Rimshot.
Yeah,
exactly.
See, the snap might be getting replaced with the. We're just gonna run a test.
Oh, I do like that.
So when I do this, shut up, Alex.
I'll keep that in mind. The fifth Bantha says, "What's up, fam? I'm gonna be quiet a bit. I'm about halfway through Dune. Shit's been busy."
Well, you're good because we're gonna do that one last.
I read that too fast, and I'm about halfway through shits, and I was like, "You don't need to text us from the toilet. Your toilet time's all you, buddy."
I'm not gonna
I appreciate that he wants to bring us into that space.
I also read it that way, and I was like, "Well, I'm glad Alex is reading it." That's what it says.
I'm taking a nice long shit, but I'm watching you guys.
I'm doing it slow, so it might take a while, but I'll be back right around half.
Also, want guys to remind you, don't forget to tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time to the Bantha Bunch. Bill, what are you guys talking about this Thursday?
Well, Alex, I have no idea what we're talking about this Thursday because I always decide on Wednesday what I'm gonna do. But you know what I'm gonna start doing? I'm gonna start posting that on Instagram. My thoughts. What am I gonna talk about? Because I don't know. And they should know, but when I know. So when I know, y'all know. But best way to know is to make sure you follow us on Instagram on the Drunk Banthas at Drunk Banthas or on Twitter. No, fuck that. Just follow us on Instagram. Get no information on Twitter. So follow us on Instagram. You'll find out what's going on in the latest, or you could subscribe right now, and that'll be easier. I feel like change your life, and it's free. So yeah, but we'll probably be talking about It's Florida, man. I like that show.
It's so good. I will say, I think the first episode's the best still.
Yes, the first episode is the best episode. The second episode might be the second best episode. It's kind of gone downhill since.
I haven't seen the third episode.
I like third better than two.
Wait, I think I did. What was the third one again?
Mermaids and Witches.
Yes.
Oh, that was oh yeah, Mermaids. Okay.
So yeah, I hadn't watched the fourth one. Or there isn't a fourth one?
I haven't watched the fourth one yet either.
Yeah, I think it isn't out yet. I think it comes out this week.
I mean, come on. The first one, the story, and the actors. All right. I don't know. You went hard for number one. I get it, but like that's a bar you got to get back up to, buddy.
Yeah. Got to get back up there.
Is that the
yeah.
Foot?
Yeah, with Randall Park and the guy from the After Party who I fucking
love. Yeah,
and then your boy was in the dude who rapped with LMFAO. He was in it. The second one episode.
Sam Richardson.
Rex. Sam Richardson. Yeah, is the first one. Rex Anderson. Dirt Nasty. He was in
Dirt Nasty. He was in episode 2. Yeah.
But yeah, guys, check that out.
I couldn't think of a song
Thursday.
That he actually did.
Brilliant. By the way, just whoever thought this up, brilliant idea for a show.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's like drunk history, but just like make it about stuff that happened in modern day Florida.
And if you come to the Bantha Bunch show on Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, 8:15 p.m. Pacific time, then you'll find out why Florida Man exists. I'll explain like the real history behind Florida Man, because it really is a real history.
It is really interesting that was culminated into this show.
Yeah, I'll explain how it actually works, like for real, because it's not just we talk shit on the internet about them.
But let's move on to our first topic of the night. We are talking. Sorry, I forgot to write down this that stupid intro that I usually do because I was like, I didn't forget to write it. I just I'm not doing that, but I forgot to write something new. But regardless, we're moving on to Jeff's comic book corner.
Oh. You know what? I thought you were about to do something else. I thought he was going to do one of them the bits. I thought a bit was coming hard.
No bits. Historically, we don't ever do bits on this show.
This is a no bit zone.
That's what I always say. But Jeff, what are we talking about today?
So today we are going to continue along with issue 2 of Dark Blood. So, like I said, I think it's a really interesting comic, and it's a shame it's only 6 issues just because the first one I don't feel like sells the comic really well. But after this one, so I actually originally only read the first 2 comics, and it was the second one where I was like, okay, this is a book I'm going to follow. So we are now on to issue 2 of Dark Blood. If you remember, we left off Double A. He's in the 50s in Montgomery, Alabama, and some white guy was shockingly racist towards him. And after Double A had some mysterious powers, he took off running and he fainted and he woke up in just a random bed. So, continuing from there, when we pick up in this issue, we see it looks like Double A running through the forest again. Maybe a little recap of the last issue, but this time we're getting a little more detail. We're seeing what he's seeing, what Avery's seeing. And he sees this light and this figure in it. And eventually the light takes on, it becomes, you can make out the face of the person in there. And it's someone named Emma. And she and Avery obviously are very close. And she's telling him like, hey, you'll be okay. You just gotta reach back out. And he's like, I'm coming back to you. And she's like, just don't leave me. And he's like, I never would. And she says, don't make promises you can't keep. And then Avery wakes up, or maybe he just like shifts perspective. Maybe he remembers, but now he's back in Austria, and he is again, his chute's on fire. He's hanging from a tree. His plane just went down, and he's screaming. He's freaking out. And all of a sudden he just goes, wake up. And then he opens his eyes, and he's back in Alabama, 1955. So Avery's back at home, and he's in his bed. And so we obviously that was all a dream. And we just get a little bit more details. First, again, that whatever's going on with his back, that's been happening for a while. And it looks like that's before, we're assuming it's before he gets his powers, because it says 6 months before the variance. Now, we still don't know what the variance is, but it clearly, I think it's clearly alluded to that it's something to do with his powers. But anyway, Avery, gets up, starts going about his day. He goes into the kitchen and meets Emma, and Emma's his wife. So he sits down. She's talking to him, and clearly she's pregnant, and they're just having a normal conversation over, breakfast and everything. Avery Double A is reading a newspaper. He sees that it just really quickly, the important thing of the newspaper is it just points out the bus boycott in Montgomery. So it gives us another instance of where we are in time. Then we see his daughter come into view, and his daughter's like, Daddy, look what I found. And this cute little daughter runs up, and she's got this comic book, and he's talking to her about it. And she wants to read it right then and there, but Mom's like, no, that's gotta wait. We got our whole day ahead of us. And Avery's just being a good family man. He's talking with his daughter. She's really excited for him to read this book to her, and he's promising, I promise, sweetie, I'll read it to you afterwards. And yeah, just a typical morning. And then next thing we see them driving down a road in this blue van. So they're on their way to work. And, we're getting a little bit of information here again. They clearly only have the one vehicle, which makes sense. Honestly, it's a little surprising they even have one in 1955 Alabama as a black family in the United States. But they're talking back and forth, and all of a sudden, Avery's daughter notices some kids run behind them. So they pull the car over, and this is where we see it's not just a regular van; it's actually a bookmobile. And so what it is we come to find out that Avery's wife, Emma, she's in charge of the bookmobile, and she's handing out, books for all the kids to read, things like that. And it's just like this nice little moment we see here. We get a quick cut to of Avery, driving his wife to the bus stop, or not necessarily the bus stop because I think he's walking to work, and all this stuff. Then we cut, and from there we cut to Avery at work. Now he's working in a diner, and it is just immediately as racism can get. The shop owner literally yells out, "I don't pay your black ass to be late," and he's cursing at Avery. Then we get the cop who Avery's literally stirring the sugar into the cop's coffee for him, and the cop's sitting there and he's talking about the bus boycotts. It's like, "Oh, if anyone comes down here," and this is a quote from the cop, "I'll be sure to give him a wood shampoo," as he's twirling his fucking baton. And we just see Avery, he's angry and everything, but he's keeping it in. He's not snapping. He's not even talking back to any of them. Then it cuts back to Avery in Austria in 1945. And he's surrounded by these flames. And we hear someone just yelling, "Double A, you got to get out of there, man. Come on, cut it. And Avery kind of comes to him. He's like, "Well, what's going on?" And this other guy, Henderson, is like, "Dude, you are on fire. You need to cut the straps for your chute." And Avery's trying and everything. And Henderson gets over there and he helps him out. And then Henderson's literally carrying Avery through a burning forest. And they don't know where they are, but they're like, "Man, I just hope we're on the right side." And there's one thing that we see that's really important. As Avery's walking away and puts his hand on a tree trunk to steady himself, it cuts back to that tree trunk, and we see that the tree trunk is actually got a rune on it, and just above the rune is his bloody handprint. And we don't know what this rune means yet. We don't know if it has anything to do with it, but I mean, it seems pretty telling to me. I mean, there's a reason I screenshotted that. Anyway, then we cut back to Alabama in 1945. Back to Avery in the diner. Avery we got people breaking glass bottles and telling Avery, "Clean that up, boy." And we got people just looking down on him, yelling at him, having him clean up broken glass with his hands and shit. Then we cut to our good friend, Mr. Racist. We got this fucking asshole yelling at Avery, telling him this is bloody. I said, "Well done." And Avery's like, "No, you asked for it medium rare." And the guy's, "Don't talk back to me." And the owner of the shop's like, "Oh, we'll just cook you a new one and stuff." And Senior Dickbag is dropping the steak on the floor. Oops. And just being a real asshole. So what we're getting from this is also, this is giving us some context why the guy went after Avery in the first issue. Cut to Avery just sitting there eating his sandwich. And we just have him sitting there looking at this shop with just some nice clothes. And it's clearly got a mom and a little girl mannequin there. And Avery's just clearly daydreaming, and he's thinking of and hoping and wishing for a better life. I mean, he literally just says "one day" while looking at these things, And then unfortunately cuts us right back to the diner. And we get this scene of Mr. Dickhole walking out of the bathroom, and he just literally leaves shit everywhere just to be a dick, just to make it, because he knows Avery's got to clean it up. And he's just like, "Oh, you have yourself a good night," to Avery and all that. Talking turd. And I'm not just responding to your quote because we're on the turd photo. But yeah, the art in this book is really good. They do a really good job of having that classic look to it, but without having the lack of, I don't want to say detail, of quality that I sometimes see when I read some older comic books. We still have the nice shine to the paper. We've got the better quality paper and art and everything. I'm really impressed with the art in this one. So anyway, we just kind of cut back and forth a bit. We get Avery reading to his daughter. We get Avery, working in the diner. We get people being dicks. Someone leaves him a nickel as a tip and says, in a note that says, "Fire the cook." And then some fucking asshole kids. I mean, these kids aren't even standing the way that they're drawn, they've got to be like 4 to 5 feet at most. And they come in, and the one ringleader kid literally is just like, he takes a glass and shatters it on the ground. It's like, what, are you going to make me clean it? And then when Avery goes to call the owner, the kid literally pulls a knife and fucking cuts him. Just like, it's baffling to me personally. Like, obviously, you know how bad it is in 1950s Alabama, but like, that kids are so audacious that they're literally cutting people. That threw me for a minute. Anyway, so the kids cut him, and then they run outside, and Avery goes to chase him, and the lead kid kicks him in the back that we already know is hurting him, and he goes down. And all of a sudden, someone is just like yelling, "Hey, you get away!" And we get our Mr. White Savior here, just like, "Hey, you all right?" And I don't know. At this moment, it kind of feels like they're just like, well, not all of us are bad, see? So we got this guy here, and he helps, and he chases the kids off, and he helps Avery up. And we see him wrapping Avery's arm, and then we see him like in this, I don't know, office, this clinic almost, and we come to find out that this guy's a doctor, and he's a doctor who's actually like, he's working late just to help Avery, and he's telling Avery like, you know what, honestly, don't worry about it. I'm happy to do this. I actually have a grant from I think like the university, he says. So I can actually take on as many patients for free as I want, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, yeah, I actually got a place out on the old Johansson farm, or whoever the fuck's farm it was. You know, if the arm ever, you know, is acting up, or your back ever starts hurting, please feel free. Come on over. Da, da, da. So then it goes back to Avery sitting with Emma on the porch, and they're just talking, recapping the day, and just, you know, some more simple, some simple family stuff, and like, you know, just a husband and wife wrapping their day up. They're talking about the doctor and how he's just like, you know, not too far away. He's over in the farmland area like them. And they're like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. And Avery just, you know, she's like, Emma's like, are you going to go see him? Avery's like, I'm not sure. And Avery gets up, just, you know, goes and grabs her some more tea. And we get a look at the sketchbook he was working in. And we see that rune again, the one from Austria 10 years ago. So at this point, I'm like, all right, something's clearly happening. Like, this rune clearly has something to do with it, but I mean, I don't know what. Anyway, a week later, Avery actually ends up going to see that doctor, and that doctor's looking at his back. And the doctor's like, man, I don't know how you're doing it. Like, you should be in a lot more pain than you are. Da, da. And Avery's like, I mean, I can handle it. And the doctor's like, you shouldn't have to handle it. You know what? Don't worry about it. I actually got something. He calls it a magic bullet. This thing, it's new. It'll help you. It's gonna revolutionize the world, and you're not gonna feel any pain. And I'll inject it right into your nerve center and stuff. And we see him pull out this weird vial, and he starts injecting it into Avery. And now it's like, oh shit. Seems to me like this doctor might be doing some Tuskegee shit, because like, he's not telling Avery what he's injecting him with. And as we see, so he takes it, he injects it into Avery. We get a quick look back in Austria, seeing the Nazis looking for Avery and Henderson while there's that rune behind them. And then we got Avery waking up in a bed when his eyes are glowing. So it looks like whatever the doctor injected him with, that's where he got his powers from. So the doctor, white savior, but it looks like it might be a more Tuskegee experiment. Only instead of syphilis, it's superpowers. And that's the end of issue 2.
Bing bong, bing bong.
That was really crazy. It's kind of demented, racist Captain America story.
Yeah, right? It's an interesting one. Like I said, Boom Comics does good shit, man.
Yeah, love Boom. Yeah, I feel like we praise them every time we
another
go
situation.
Take a trip down Jeff's Comic Book Corner.
Another week of where I'm just telling you why this nigga deserved everything he got. Why you chasing white people into the streets? Again, here we are. Learned nothing. We've learned nothing, and now we're chasing white children into the streets.
One of my favorite quotes.
Well, the white children were just in the parking lot. That's fine.
Yeah, you don't chase white children in the 70s.
There's
I'll take my children in 2024.
Chris Rock once said, like, I always got to be on my guard for white people. If I'm at the Regis Philbin show and he just like stabs me in the neck with a pencil, it's like, take that, you fucking crazy ass nigga. I would be like, I should have seen that coming.
Yeah, should have seen that coming.
I like Othelius's comment there. Caucasity off the charts for that one.
Caucasity
the caucasity
is mind blowing.
It's mind blowing. So disrespectful.
Jeff, thanks so much for taking us down your comic book corner. Are we getting more of this series next week, or?
Well, I was thinking about just doing these two and then giving us something new, but if people want, we can keep it's only a 6 issue, so if people want, I can keep going with it, or I can find us something new and just kind of give us another little just glimpse into some fun stuff, you know?
Okay, yeah, guys, let us know in the comments. What would you prefer? Something new? You want keep rolling with this crazy racist Alabama adventure? Let us know in the comments. Maybe I'll put up a poll on the channel just in case you guys forget to put something in the comments. Yeah, I know. Oh, Lil Frothy says Nunu.
All right, let's do some new.
That's one.
We've got some other really good indies that are some that are blowing up, and some that, you know what? I've got a really fun one that the entire series I think is 2 issues.
Oh, really?
We'll do one of those. Yeah, it didn't get picked up, but that sucks because it was a really funny comic.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll do that.
Right. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Oh, that looks like 2 votes. Ophelia says mix it up, and some Jughead and some Archie wouldn't.
I mean, we've got Archie vampires and we've got Jughead werewolf. We could, have a little more fun.
Oh, that'd be rad.
Right? Okay. Honestly, that thing is hitting real well.
It gets better every time.
Because I keep forgetting about it.
And let me tell you something. The audio for it was really bad. It's like a tape that was recording it.
It sounds like a tape deck. It sounds like you put a cassette in, hit play, and stop immediately.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what it is.
But that is going to be the conclusion of Jeff's Comic Book Corner. We are going to it's time to put on your wrestling shoes because it's time to. Oh, no, press the wrong button. But you can see from
it is time to get to.
I think it's
step into the ring with Invincible Fight Girl.
Flawless.
Yeah, nailed it. Just nailed it.
Totally nailed it. Yeah, that's right, guys. We are talking about Invincible Fight Girl. We're stepping into the ring with Andy and all these crazy characters.
Is such a well-produced show, and if it's not, we blame it on Penny.
Yeah, unfortunately, Penny, she's sleeping on the job right now.
That's right.
But yeah, let's do some quick initial thoughts before we get into the story of this episode. What did you guys think of episode 4 of Invincible Fight Girl? Sorry, it sounded like you're about to say something.
Well, I was gonna say you should read the rundown, then we tell you.
Okay, yeah, let's just go through it because this episode opens with the battle between Brandon and Andy, and with Mikey's help, she almost wins, but he draws her into a trap. I do want to play just one clip from this fight because it's pretty rad.
We don't even have Penguin anymore, and I'm still scared.
I'm still scared as well. I have PTSD.
You should be. But no, I just wanted to play this clip because this is where you get an example of Andy holding her own against Brandon. That spin kick move at the end was like, I was like, oh shit. Like I really like the animation for this fight.
Bro, that's like yellow belt at most. It's nothing. Come on.
Yeah, man.
It's yellow belt on Tekken, maybe.
Nah. You didn't learn that in yellow belt Taekwondo? Come on.
Oh, I was one belt below that. I stopped.
White belt?
Yeah, I stopped at white.
Learn that at YMCA, man. Learn that first day at the Y.
But what did you guys think of this fight scene? Because we did get something that we we said that you predicted that we get the space laser wrestling ring.
Me?
Yeah, you were, and we were like, no, they're not gonna do it because there's already a ring there.
Got the ring, yeah.
But no,
But
we
it's
still
an
got
official sanctioned fight.
It's a sanctioned
So
fight.
millions of people have to die, so that two people, maybe four, have the ability to wrestle together.
It's a sacrifice I'm willing to live with. Mainly
Unless
because I don't live in that city.
I was going to say, unless you're in proximity of one of these matches,
then it's something you will die for, I guess. But like, what did you guys think of the animation and just like the action in this first half of this episode? And Brandon, I'll let you go first.
All right. Again, I'm not a wrestling guy. I don't care. And God damn it, this show, I didn't want to like it. It got me. This fucking episode, I was like, yes.
Oh,
come on! It was so good. The fight was well written. The animation was fucking awesome. It was funny, and I mean, you know what? Screw it. Spoilers are going to get to there anyway. I like that she did not win. Every part of this was done so well, and I'm a little annoyed because I was looking forward to not enjoying it.
Well, I'm sorry that it disappointed.
Your fucking fault. You did this.
Yeah, no.
See, actually, it is mostly my fault. I'm the one who found this, and I was just like, I don't think this is going to turn out as good as I thought it was going to be. It certainly is way different than I thought it was going to be. I saw it on Tony Baker's Instagram because he is the first guy she fights.
Oh, Perm Squad.
The Perm Squad. Perm Gang.
The Perm Gang, yeah.
Perm Gang. It's the Perm Gang.
Insane.
So I that's why I was like, oh, I gotta watch that. See what that's about. I didn't realize he was only going to be in like one episode so far. So hopefully we see more of him because that's the only reason I started watching. But anyway, I was like, man, I'm not gonna like this one, but so far so good. This episode, like for me as well, turned it out. It's like, okay, let's step it up. You know what I mean? If we're gonna be like Dragon Ball Z, let's be a little less Dragon Ball Z when it comes to the bullshit episodes.
Bro, I'm just saying the Ginyu squad made comebacks. We could get our Perm squad back too.
Oh, I would love it. I would love it if they're like recurring bad guys or just
especially the way they did it with the Ginyu Force.
Oh yeah, the
so
Ginyu
fucking funny.
Yeah, this is so goddamn funny.
I just love that they leaned into that on this for no reason. Nobody said, hey, you got to do that. They just said, we're just going to do Ginyu Force Perms, and they're going to be Perm Gang.
So wonderful decision to make.
If we don't get a Ginyu Force in every show we're breaking down in 2025, I'm going to quit the podcast. You know what? Yeah.
What's the point of
one
living?
Ginyu Force like a year, like at least one show to get good Ginyu Force.
Yeah, what's the point?
Give the fans what they want.
Then like later on in the episode, because like I mentioned, Andy doesn't win the fight. But while Mikey's dad is overjoyed, Andy tells Mikey to not give up on his dream, making him think back to his mother's words of encouragement. Now I thought this was like really a surprisingly touching moment of the episode, and it was like the most anime moment in the episode. Like there's a lot of anime shit going on, but I like the whole like little boy thinking of their dead mom. Like I'm surprised she didn't have like a side ponytail. Like it's a very anime moment, but I really appreciate it.
Also, the very anime moment was that dude sitting there, everybody's fucking internal monologue. Nobody's talking out loud.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. It just feels so
like, you know what it is like. I feel like if they didn't do any of that, this episode is still a good episode. Take out all of that internal monologue bullshit, and just the times that they actually speak out loud, those are the times that are spoken.
Right.
I guarantee you this episode rocks just as hard or even more.
Probably would have appealed to American audiences more, if we're being honest.
Yeah, probably. Because yeah,
Wait,
like
you say would have or wouldn't have?
I think it would have.
Okay.
And by the way, this didn't not appeal. This is the highest rated episode yet at a 9.0. So people loved it.
Yeah, I loved it. We loved it. We were not like we weren't vibing as much with it, and then boom, here we go. Boom goes the time.
Yeah, they finally like built themselves up to a point where there's not a lot of world building that's needed. We're fully ingratiated in the wackiness of this world. So just like being able to have just like half about like a crazy action scene and half the other half of the episode just like sort of wrap things up in an emotional way. It's pretty rad. And then later on, Andy tells Craig she needs to find a teacher, but Craig says he was inspired by her and offers to be her manager. But she walks away. And then she comes back, when he claims that he will get Poblana to train him. Following this, Mikey appears to the surprise of Craig and Andy, and he suggests coming with her, which she accepts. So we got our little band of heroes.
Begrudgingly.
Right? Yeah, Craig offering to train her is like if Mr. Satan offered to give like one of the Z fighters tips. Like I don't remember what his name is in the America version.
Is Hercule.
Hercule. Because Mr. Satan's too much. Does his shirt say Satan or say hell?
It says Satan.
Yeah, his shirt says Satan.
It says Satan.
So like
Hercule, I think he says Satan.
It does say Satan sometimes. Like sometimes they'll edit it.
There's certain edits because you know what? That's a whole video.
Yeah, right. Goddamn.
But
it's gonna be the Dragon Ball Z podcast if we talk any further.
Well, it's just so funny what they decide to edit and not. Like there's one of the first DBZ episodes. Like it's just instead of like having like a red hole, it's just a flesh colored hole, and it's like he's still dead. No one's surprised, but also it's not like there's gore and guts and shit. It's just like tinted red. It's not that like big of a deal.
Yeah.
And even when it's not a hole, or tinted red, it's just a black hole.
Yeah, right. I think that's what it was. It was they did a black hole when it's like it's just a red hole in the real version. Come on.
Yeah, I was like, is that better?
Right. Although I don't remember if it's Korea or China. The blood is too much for them. So they just change it all white. So now every bad murder in an anime just looks like the aftermath of a god-awful orgy.
White is such a weird choice. Why not? Okay. That's
yeah.
It's just suggesting other fluids. But yeah, like what did you think of the way that this episode wrapped up? We got like our Ash, Brock.
We got our gang.
Yeah, we got our three heroes that are going to be following for the rest of the.
We finally can play this RPG game and get out of this bullshit beginner stages, and finally start playing some levels.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like.
It did feel like we got a while till we got to our core three.
Yeah, and I think we can all agree. Mikey's like, "Oh, Dad changed his mind." No, he didn't. Dad's going to be coming back. You kidnapped my son or some bullshit, right?
Yeah, we're definitely going to see
he ran off. He RUNOFT.
Then again, he is 8, so
exactly. Like you're 8 years old, you didn't just get allowed to go home. Right.
That's what an 8-year-old does.
Dude, 8-year-old journalist is wild. There's gonna be some serious misspellings.
Yeah, he's gonna be like the Duke. Yeah,
he submits them all in crayon.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, well, half of it's in crayon because I was on the bus.
So it turns out you're actually terrible because you're a child. So.
That's not the best part. The best part's going to be when we see an Amber Alert going out and Andy gets arrested for child abduction.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you can't just take a child. She is an adult. He is a child.
Yeah. Turn 18 just in time to commit a felony.
This shit isn't cute anymore, little girl. You need to give this boy back. But guys, let us know what you thought of Invincible Fight Girl if you've been watching along.
If you've been watching.
Yes, this pretty short show, not a whole lot to get into, but I am very excited about what's going to happen next week when the story really starts ramping up.
Yeah, I mean that's what you get when you get an action episode like this one. But again, so I'll say this: I was so impressed by how they animated it. doing the there's little things they do where like when Andy's like going to do a kick or one of those spin moves and they draw her legs longer so it looks like they're coming around faster. Like those are just real simple animation tricks that turned out really well. When we get Mikey analyzing M. Brandon's moves and they're showing like the little chart and everything, those were done really well. I was very, very impressed with the animation and transitions in this episode. This is the sort of cartoon I like to watch.
Yeah,
Right on. Yeah, same. Like, yeah, I feel like it really, like you said, it just really built up where the animation's it's always been spectacular, like in all the episodes, but I bet they really stretched their muscles on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Bravo.
Plus, we got my MVP back, Ringbot. Fucking love that guy.
Ringbot. Shout out to Ringbot. Suffered no injuries this time.
Ringbot's eternal. We are Ringbot.
we are.
Boom. Next shirt.
Noah, where are you at? But our next conversation is definitely not going to be this short because we got 3 episodes to cover. We are tackling Act 2 of our. That's right.
I wonder if that sounds as cool as we think it does when you do that.
Probably
for
not.
them.
I'm hoping. Yeah, guys, let us know.
I can hear you say
cool?
the whole
Are we
thing.
cool?
Are we cool?
Do we have friends now?
Do you like us?
But yeah,
Arcane, do you ever get nervous?
Arcane season 2. I do actually really like the way this show rolls out their episodes because they all do feel like little acts of the season. It gives you kind of some time to like binge and then relax and adjust to all the story and emotional shit that's.
Do you like watching shit like that? Well, you know what? Fuck all that. Just read us the rundown before I start asking questions.
Well, there is a lot to run.
I know.
Down.
Run it down, nigga. Run it down.
So after that declaration of martial law, a joint Piltovian knocks in force has occupied Zahn. Jinx has gone into hiding with Isha. Caitlyn is now in a relationship with Maddie.
Ooh.
And Jace, Echo, and Heimerdinger.
Yeah, Heimerdinger.
have been missing.
Hammerdonger.
All these answers will be accepted as correct.
You got it. Nailed
it. They have been missing since their interaction with the Wild Rune. And I don't think that they explained exactly how much time had passed, but they do a lot of good visual storytelling to tell you.
Enough for her to dye her hair.
I think that they said a year. Quit coughing in the microphone. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I think they said a year.
I'm not. Stop it.
Okay, so they do a lot to just like not really patronize the audience. Like they don't need a huge exposition dump because there's enough exposition dumps going on with everything else that's going on this show.
And a suspicion. So how would you animation exposition
and addition?
I don't know. Animation exposition.
I have to workship that one.
I'm saying it. Animation exposition. There's no reason to make it all crazy.
But yeah, like this I like the opening for this act because a lot has happened. And we got Caitlyn's already moved on to someone I did not expect. But it does seem like, later on there's still going to be a connection between Vi and Caitlyn. I don't think that Vi can.
That little ginger cop really wants to be Vi, huh?
Yeah, wait a minute. You didn't tell me. You mean to tell me
you didn't see that coming?
No.
Y'all didn't see that coming?
No.
I did not see that coming.
I cannot.
You didn't see that coming?
I was more thinking that because like she seemed like she grew more of an attraction, if anything, to Vi in like the little bit that we saw Maddie. Like she seemed like she had adoration for her, and it was kind of weird to see her in Caitlyn's bed.
No, she was a attention hoe, a star fucker.
Well, they didn't really seem to show romantic feeling. They didn't show a romantic side to her at all. I feel like in the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, but old girl needed somebody to dom. You see what I'm saying?
She needed she was.
Isn't that why she's ruling the kingdom or whatever?
Yeah,
she's just doming the kingdom. What's up?
Yeah, but see, you can't. But you gotta exude that power, right? And mostly being in power is about stabilization and not
Be a
trying.
ruler and have someone bring you some escorts. Come on.
Well, that's what she
ruler.
is.
That's dictator 101.
That's what she is. Except she keeps
Without
things
the dick?
quiet. We don't know what homosexuality is in this paradigm of this social
It doesn't seem.
because I don't see anybody else in a homosexual relationship.
I mean, bro who can't use his legs is clearly gay, right?
Well, he be getting the little cat lady to come in, do him up, dab him up a little bit, dab me up.
Giving him tattoo orgasms.
I thought that Victor and
Which I gotta find out how
scientist
you do
dude
that.
were gonna develop a relationship at some point, but he ended up with Mel in the first season. But there was just like sort of a bromance between those two guys.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of bromances and girls be out here fucking.
Athelia said in the chat, I better see Echo in these next few episodes. And yeah, you did mention, I think in the last episode of the pod, that Echo is kind of one of the only morally good characters on the show. So it is his absence is what's definitely felt.
Yeah, he said that last week.
To quote myself from last week, oh man, I don't know who that is.
That's the black kid with the cool white dreads.
Who?
Black kid with the cool
that's
white
the
dreads.
joke, nigga.
That's the one with the white face paint who was hanging out with the little lemur squirrel dude?
Yeah,
man.
Heimerdinger, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Hammerdonger, got it.
Yeah, Hammerdonger, Hyperdinger, which is his name, will all be accepted.
Yeah, and then later on, what happens
Harvey
here?
Denter, I got it.
Harvey Denter, yeah,
Harvey Denter.
nailed it. Caitlin is suspicious of Mbisa, who has unsuccessfully tried to conduct her own Hextech research. Savika tries to convince Jinx, who is seen as a hero by the Zonites, to rally the people and lead a revolt, but she refuses. Which is the call to action that your hero has to refuse. I'm sure I kind of saw that coming, but also this girl's like the Joker. Do y'all want her to run this?
She's more like Harley
revolution?
Quinn.
Yeah. I'll give you that. She's very.
How political do you want me to get on this? Because I've got some arguments. That might point
Should a woman be in charge? We're gonna be on chaotic truth today. We're chaotic truth. We're going 12 hours straight.
But no, I mean, look at it. The simple fact is, Joker or not, terrorist or not, hero or not, the fact is these people who are being kept down nonstop, and even before, I would argue even before. Obviously, I didn't see season 1, but I'm guessing the up toppers were probably pretty abusive of the down lowers. And so the fact is, when you're getting abused and you're getting pushed down, it's the proletariat and bourgeoisie. You can only fuck with the lower class so much before they snap and come and fight back. And the fact is, the second they see that one person who's willing to stand up and throw that fucking match, yeah, that person, good or bad, becomes a hero.
That's right, guys.
That's right.
Also, speaking of the proletariat and the bourgeoisie, fun little fact, the last person executed by guillotine so recently that Star Wars A New Hope was in theaters.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know what? Shout out to the guillotine. No, sorry. I was just joking. But
so France was just like, all right, let's watch a blade chop his head off. And what's this about light swords? Let's go watch this guy.
What's this one here? Hold on, I meant to put this one up here. Marlon. Shout out to Marlon, first of all. Shout out to everybody who's watching on
that is Marlon. I thought it said Maryland.
Shout out to Marlon. Shout out to Ophelia. Shout out to Talking to Her. Shout out to Lil Frothy. Shout out to Morgan. Fifth Bantha. Marlon says, is Jinx a villain or an anti-hero? And I myself would say she's a big fat hero. That's what she is, according to her own words.
Yeah, she's definitely, I wouldn't say that she's a villain, because there are obviously more nefarious characters on this show.
She's Wolverine. she was brainwashed and used for bad purposes, and then found her way back to her own path, which leads her to the light.
She's definitely she's a person who has done some terrible things in her past. But it seems like she's ultimately a good person, and she was also like severely traumatized as a kid.
MLMs, man, yeah.
And she's adopted by a psychopath, so like at her most vulnerable.
Well, before that, she was adopted by a revolutionary psychopath.
But he was a nice guy.
He was just nice. Yeah.
I'll say I think that this is one of the situations where the outside circumstances are really fucking important. If there wasn't this class divide and this horrible treatment of the common folk and abuse of civil rights, she would be a villain. But the fact is, there are those. So she's at the very least an anti-hero, and honestly, might just be, like Bill said, a straight up hero.
A big fat hero.
A big fat hero. And I would say, like, of the main characters, that Vi is probably like considered
the hottest. Yeah.
Hero. Also, yes. The hero of the show, because she does drive a lot of the narrative, but also she just seems a little bit less morally ambiguous than Jinx is. Like she always like is fighting for the greater good. For it doesn't always land how she wants it to, but she's got very much Batman energy. Like she's like, I just want everybody to be okay.
I got so many hero songs that went through my head all these times you said hero. I can be a hero.
Gotta pull up Enrique Iglesias.
It's interesting because we see the hero dynamic in both of them. We see it in Vi in she's willing to believe and fight for the good of everyone, but quickly realizes the side that she's on is overstepping their bounds, and they are becoming the I don't want to say Nazis, but the stormtroopers. They're becoming but
not Nazis, but not
but not Nazis.
Nazis, yeah.
And then with Jinx, we get the other side of it. We get the person who's doing a lot of the whole, she's trying to find ways to fight and everything, and she just kind of doesn't really care as long as she gets her target. But now she's starting to pull back from that and be like, no, there's people who are getting hurt too. So it's interesting seeing both sides of that coin.
Absolutely. I'm about to call, but I want to look at this comment that Othelius and the Marlon said here at the top there.
Gotcha. These two.
Vi calling Jinx a psycho pissed me off. Yeah.
Yeah, that was mean. I was a little, but I mean,
how rude.
But that also just tracks, sometimes, especially family, when you're just mad, you say shit that you don't mean.
Yeah, but I also think it's a point of like where they're, testing the edginess of, in a subtle way, mental health. People go through crazy shit that makes them fucking crazy. I think that's why Powder is the most beloved character on this show. If you go look up online, all the fan art, all the shit, it's mostly Powder. Like, you got other people who love other characters, but you go to Comic-Con, it's a fucking 1,000 Powders.
Yeah, you see Powder everywhere.
And this show came out 4 years ago.
Yeah. And she's like the new Harley Quinn, actually, when it comes to cosplays. Like you just see her everywhere.
Yeah. And it's easy to do too. So it's probably more fun to do than a Harley Quinn because you can kind of add your own thing to it.
Yeah.
I feel like the only annoying part would be trying to replicate the clouds, because there's little bits popping out of like the entire half of her body,
Marlon also said in the chat, this is the era of anti-heroes or villains, isn't it? Isn't it disorienting the meaning of right and wrong?
Distorting the meaning of right and wrong.
Oh, isn't it distorting the meaning of right and wrong? Thank you. Someone who can actually read.
I would say it is reflecting the world that we live in. Especially in the times that we're in, right and wrong is being blurred or at least crossed. The lines of those are being crossed every single day. It seems like we're escalating in some kind of way in every walk of life is being blurred as what's right and what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's how much you make versus how much your company makes, how much they should pay you, and how much they should be able to earn. You know, how many.
That's why you always poop on the clock.
always poop on the clock. You know,
I never shit for free.
It comes to wars, it comes to sexuality, it comes to all that shit. There's all these blurred lines of good and bad and right and wrong. So I don't know. I think it reflects accurately what we live through.
Yeah,
I agree with that. No, I'm sorry, Alex. Go ahead. I was cutting you off.
No, sorry.
Well, anyway, what I was thinking.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead, Jeff.
No. It's out. I cut Alex off nonstop. Let him talk once.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say that this does seem like there's an appetite for that. With Agatha and the Penguin, shows like this, and even like we'll talk about Dune Prophecy later. This is just a bunch of shows about a bunch of people who aren't very nice.
No, I don't think that.
Well, except for Dune Prophecy, it's basically a shot-for-shot remake of Care Bears.
We want to make the world great.
You can really see the influence there.
I disagree with you about the Penguin, though. The Penguin, if you think that he's a hero, or an anti-hero, you just like bad people.
I think a part of the Penguin was, and one of the things that made it so great was they made you want to root for him enough that at times we were able to forget that he's a villain, not think he's a good guy, but forget how bad he was. I think, at least. But no, with Bill, I think you were the one saying, the problem is it's not so black and white. One thing that I've, that someone told me was that one of the things to remember is our brains want black and white. Our brains want yes and no. Our brains want the easy answers. But the problem is we don't live in it. And that's one of the interesting things is our brains, and one of the reasons why is because we want to be happy. Our brains aren't made to be happy. Our brains are made to survive. So, and that's one of the reasons why we have such a hard time with complex issues,
Oh, is that a Dune?
Is that Dune Prophecy?
No, that's therapy.
Okay. I like that.
I'll pass along to you guys. I'll pay the copay. You just get the rewards.
I'll take
I'm getting recipes and therapy. This is great.
Jeff's therapy corner.
Recognizing that let me back up a little bit because we do get the reveal of the human wolf hybrid. Singed is taken in. Singed is taken in by the enforcers along with some other people. And he leaves a blood trail for the human wolf hybrid to follow. Savika alerts Jinx, and they break into Stillwater, releasing Aisha and several rebels. The beast attacks the prison, slaughtering guards and prisoners alike. Jinx fights the creature while Sevika escapes with Isha, but is overpowered. Just as it prepares to kill her, it recognizes her as Powder. And as soon as it's like spoke, I was just like, holy shit, that's Vander, because that voice is just
that's what I thought too.
What was crazy was as soon as he fucking spoke, I was like, well, it was right before he spoke because he looked at her and I was like, holy shit. Because last week we theorized it would be Silco, right?
A year ago, that's right.
And I was like,
fucking time jumps.
Well, for you, Jeff, the guy that Powder keeps talking to.
I put it together.
Yeah. And you know what? Because it's not just you who hasn't watched the
that's
first
a good point.
season. Everybody's we got a lot of people watching that haven't seen it before. So but
also Powder is Jinx.
Yes. You know what?
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is
Einhorn.
You're gonna
yeah.
say
So
about
no,
Wolf Daddy.
yeah. He just. I basically finished my point. He was, he realized that it was her, and when he realized it, I was like, "Damn, that ain't Silco." And then he said something, and it was like, "It's," and he said, "Powder," and he like, "That's crazy."
I low-key really love Vander as a character. He's kind of like the Ned Stark, where he's just like such a good guy.
Yeah,
it's
he's
kind of weird.
He gonna lose his head.
Yeah, he's destined to die.
He kind of lost his head already, but then
I don't know.
No, he died
You're
in the
not a
first
wolf.
episode
Oh yeah.
or the second episode.
He was
of
like the
show.
first act of the first season. Yeah.
And you're like, "Yo, the fuck? I like that dude. You just killed him. What the fuck?" And now he's back. So this is like zombie Ned.
Yeah, and I forgot that at the end of that,
Zombie Wolf.
when he died,
He's zombie wolf.
When he died, he took like one of those weird serums, like right before he died, because he was like mortally injured. But he like took one of those serums so he could like Hulk out and save Vi and everybody. Give them.
I thought they gave it to him.
Or maybe they did give it to him.
Yeah, they gave it to him, which was so stupid.
He was like,
I did like his name's Vander.
Yeah.
I did like that the way he recognized Jinx was powder was the scent he smelled. And it's like, shouldn't have gone with Wolf, stupid.
Right. Yeah.
Should have chosen a monkey or some shit.
Yeah. or a bat.
Or a snake, yeah, or something.
Yeah. And they got a lot of bat head people, which is crazy. We never played the video game. I don't know about you.
No.
Yeah, it's like, was it Legends of?
Oh yeah,
Legends.
Forgotten Legends. It's
That's all I know.
League of Legends. League of Legends.
That's it.
Legends of League is what I was gonna say, but I knew that was wrong.
It's a freemium game, right?
I don't know what that means.
Freemium is a game that's free to play, but the only way to actually like get good is spend a fuck ton of money.
Right. Yeah, like your
Warcraft. Yeah. I think it's one of them.
Clash of Clans.
Yeah, I never heard that term, but yes.
Yeah. I ADHD the fuck out on those games, and I either don't do anything for 3 days straight while I just wait for one little fucking heart to come back after 30 minutes, or I spend all my fucking money, so I can't touch those games anymore.
Yeah, I can't fuck with the ones where you actually have to spend money to have fun. Yeah. Talking Turd said that's a good point, Marlon. The recent Joker movie had a lot of folks siding with the villain. I think that was what they hoped with the Acolyte. The villain would be a hero. And yeah, in my opinion, they didn't go hard enough on the Acolyte. That was one of the failures of that film.
They had one of the best villains ever set up on the Acolyte.
They really shit the bed there.
What was that?
Fantastic. Smilo Ren.
Oh yeah, bad.
Yep.
Smilo. Smilo was the best part of that show.
100%.
Eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
That's what I have to do when we got to get off that shit. When we talking about Acolyte.
So we got, what was it last time? Mutant Techno Jesus?
Yeah.
Was that what you named him last time?
Magic
Mutant Jesus. That's what it was.
Magic Mutant Jesus AKA is all right with me.
Yeah.
Jesus is all right. That's it. That's how. Yeah.
He had some lines in this one.
He did. Finally. He said some things.
He said some stuff. That was nice.
He said some things.
We got our gospels.
He said some things.
Yeah, he really embraced the whole Jesus thing pretty
he actually
quickly.
I thought that was just us, being funny. Came back a year later and he was
we were being funny, damn it.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I thought we was just, doing our thing. Doing what we do. And then we come back and this nigga's Jesus. Jesus,
at the Hex Vault, Jace is unwittingly released from the Wild Rune by Salo, who is healed by Victor while attempting to steal the Hex Tech core. And Victor, he has this. He begins to draw out. Oh no, sorry, no. He basically has this little community that they set up in the last act, where he's just running shit and
Tent Jesus is what I called it.
And much like Jesus,
he's super lepers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's up with the super lepers. But it doesn't seem like he has long for this world, much like Jesus. He what does he do? Like, he goes, helps this fucking
Zombie wolf.
Yeah, he begins to draw out Vander's humanity across several days. And this was like pretty cool because like later on we even get to see Vander just like say, "Don't touch my daughter." Just like as he wolf punches a motherfucker through.
That's Magic Mutant Jesus. Magic, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
MMJ.
Magic Mutant Jesus.
MMJ.
MMJ.
Or just MJ.
Job. I definitely feel like MJ got through his head and got a little control over him. You know what I'm saying? But then all of that was for naught.
Yeah.
We also had, what's her name?
Caitlin. Control, though. I don't feel like it was control. I feel like it was more just, I mean, like he was straight up Jesusing it up in the sense that he was just kind of like showing him the way back, you know?
No, yeah. When I say control, I mean that he gave Vander back.
I see.
That's what I mean. I may have misspoke. Yeah. I misspoke. But yeah, that's
also,
what
you guys suck because now I got Hanson stuck in my fucking head.
It's their worm.
Would you like another Hanson song?
Dude, they wrote some jazz albums that are actually pretty dope.
I'm honestly a big fan of Hanson. I've seen him twice
Yeah, we are aware.
Motherfucker, if you were here, we could have gone and see him over at Emo's last fucking week. Well, no, I saw Rise Against last week. So
what? Oh man, yeah, like yeah,
fucking time. They're amazing.
Talking Turd said Hanson could rewrite the theme rune.
I don't know rune. Dune?
I think he means the that song at the beginning of this.
Oh
gosh. I would love it if they redid the theme song for this.
This fucking show's theme sucks to me. I'm sorry if you love Imagine Dragons, but this one sucks.
You gotta Imagine Dragons is a band where it's like it every single time depends on the specific song.
Yeah,
there is no in between. You fucking love or you fucking hate.
You know what? This is my problem with Imagine Dragons. Literally.
You want to see real ones?
Every single thing Jeff just said it. Like every single thing he said, that's an Imagine Dragon song. If you just say it at the tempo, everything he says is just an Imagine Dragon song. You don't have to really, you just need certain types of words that they use. And it's crazy because I'm like, me personally, as a songwriter, I'm like, that's fucking genius. I mean, I may not like it, but I'm like, this fucking guys.
And it's funny. It's funny because my problem with Imagine Dragons is kind of my problem with like the music on the show in general. Is like I enjoy the musicality, like it's very cinematic and big. But then when you start throwing the lyrics in there, it's just like, well, what the fuck are we doing anymore? And I just don't like it's like it works much better as a score for a TV show like this than like actually like be someone want to bop in my car. And unfortunately they actually include the lyricism in these music needle drops, and it kind of bugs the ever living out of
it. Also includes in the captions, but also what I was gonna say, if you really listen to it, it really is emotionally the lyrics are kind of going with what they're showing. And I feel like it is more of a musical. The needle drops are making it more of a musical, and I think that's actually what's messing you up.
Yeah, and
for someone who loves musicals, I found that interesting. But Jeff, how you feel about
I'll tell you what, like give us some, I don't know, like when we see Jay, like give us something along those lines. I mean, like he's walking around messiahing it up, like I don't know, like have him like, you know, like walking, like welcoming his sheep, like, you know, talking at, like looking at him, and he's standing there and he's just got his arms like, you know, like wide open. And that's the only thing I cared about music-wise. I just had to get that in there.
Oh man,
But moving on, great joke. Moving on, like what else happens? Across several days, Victor brings death to humanity, and Vander. What were you about to say?
I was gonna hit you to the next part, but you were gonna go to Vander. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna saying that's what I just said. But then Singed help. God, I hate that name. Singed's help.
What? Fuck you. What? No.
Okay.
Singed is the guy's name, but making it possessive is
let me.
That's like the Crash Test Dummies naming their hit song. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. No. Look, I'm gonna help you out with this one. The Black Queen lady.
Well done, Athelius.
White giant human being. They both pull up and they like, we talking business and we standing on business. Everybody come out, or we coming in, and they come in and try to foil Vander's awakening, basically.
Right.
Now, what's her name? Caitlin?
Caitlin. That's
the cheating hoe who moves on too fast. Yeah.
Right, exactly. She done already jumped shit in this episode. She's just like, boop. Mm-hmm. She's like, nope, let me go ahead and.
That's what happens when you see the one you love.
That's what happens when you fall on top of the one you love, because she just bounced up on top of her, catch her off guard, and then
after hitting her in the face, after just fucking pistol whipping her.
Yeah, exactly. And then
to quote Dean Pelton from Community, I hope that doesn't awaken something in her.
I hope this doesn't awaken.
It seemed to. It seemed to awaken something in her. She
went like, and then she was like. Ooh. And that's why I should be an actor.
Vi actually did something that she hasn't done the entire series, which is tell the truth. Just tell everybody what's going on instead of just sitting there holding everything in and going bullheadedly and everything. Right? She tells the truth. She says, "Hey, this is my father," and then they go set up a plan to betray Ambisa. They betray Ambisa and capture her in some kind of way, and also defeat. Well, I'll get to that in a second. Oh, yes. Jeff, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say it's interesting that this is cutting to the end of the 3 episodes, but it's interesting you say that, because my thought when we got it was a Jace with Magic Hammer. That's Jace.
Yep.
Yeah, Jace.
So when he's running around the entire time, just he's getting ready to fuck everything up, my only thought there is just like, if they all just talked, maybe the world wouldn't be about to end.
Yeah. If everybody just had a conversation. Again, a mirror to society.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm not even going to give you the more you know on that one. You should fucking know that one, guys. You should know that one, babes and girls.
And it is funny because like Jace's story, it seems so far removed from like all these other characters, but they just like kind of come to a head in this moment. Because I don't think Jace has like even met Jinx, right? He had a very small, quick relationship with Vi in the first season. Like they didn't.
He has seen Jinx when she was leaving with his shit. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. First episode.
Sorry,
Victor Al-Gaib.
Yeah, Delia's over here killing him. Victor Al-Gaib. Victor Al-Gaib.
We gotta get a picture of Victor in a still suit.
Victor Al-Gaib.
I'm for it.
Shock. Who could have seen that coming?
Calm your nerves, my brother. Go ahead and finish your read.
Haunted by the visions of the wild rude, Jason infiltrates the sanctuary and kills Victor, provoking a physical backlash from the people Victor quote unquote healed, including Vander, who becomes
that gonorrhea came back rough.
I don't hold it against Jace. This is not Jace. This man, his mind has been broken.
Well, and we also saw creepy, crazy, green-eyed Doctor Man. He seemed to know that the second MJ was going to go down. Like, hey, it's not just that people aren't going to get healed anymore. Like, the ones you healed are fucked too.
Yeah.
So creepy, crazy, green-eyed doctor man seems to know a lot more than he's letting on.
Yeah, he seems very
Creepy,
knowledgeable.
crazy, green-eyed doctor man.
He seems to know more about the hex shit than Jace, who was stuck in a hex for a fucking year. Jace really should have done some research while he was there. Waste of time.
Man, Jeff is a musician. He doesn't even know it.
He's very melodical.
I'm telling you, creepy, crazy,
Green-eyed Dr. Man.
Yeah, Dr.
Man.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to remember, but it's easier than
Yes,
his
if you
fucking
do it.
real
One
name.
eye, one horn, flying purple people eater.
Exactly. It's the same thing.
Yeah, no.
Green-eyed,
I mean, it's
What?
not the same words.
Crazy green.
one eye.
Can you remember that?
All right, whatever.
I'm just saying.
Put in chat.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball. Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, this was pretty crazy. Like, this happens sort of at the worst time possible. And Bisa recovers and raids the sanctuary in an attempt to capture Vander, who kills Rictus in the ensuing chaos.
Bro.
Fucking brutal.
Amazing.
Was he drooling fucking magma?
My thing is this. Yes, he was drooling magma somehow, which is crazy. But my thing is this.
Because he was so hot.
How do we know that he's dead? I don't think the dude's dead.
What's his name?
Rictus?
Zombie Wolf or Jay?
Rictus. Both. But
brother of Scrotus.
Listen to me good. I think that what's his name is gonna get made into a different type of little demon dude, just like the wolf.
Remember, careful with the nose this time.
Yeah, just chop that bitch off.
Bat or snake, motherfucker? Come on.
There's a lot of bad people around. Just
grab a bad people. But yeah, like, it's gonna be him changing him into something kind of like the mountain got changed into some kind of night,
right?
Zombie.
Also zombie.
Yeah. So
that would be
cool. Look out for night zombies.
The bat dude from the first episode. I don't know about anyone else. I was getting big callbacks to the first episode of the 80s Ninja Turtles cartoon. Because before Bebop and Rocksteady, they transformed that one dude into the bat.
Yeah.
And like he had like a similar outfit too. I was like, yeah, I'm enjoying this.
Wasn't that character in the new Ninja Turtles movie?
Yeah.
No, that was a different Batman.
Oh, okay.
Was it? I thought he was in.
That was a Bat Lady.
The one in the 80s cartoon was just a throwaway character to show that they could. And then I think later on within the series, they made one that stuck around and long enough to become a toy.
Gotcha. Facts and figures here. Then at the end of this episode, which was like, it seems to be just a recurring theme with all these episodes tonight, just a dash of child murder.
Fuck yeah. Dead chillins.
we got dead kids all over the show tonight.
No.
Isha overloads Jinx's pistol with Hextech cores and sacrifices herself to destroy Vander to Jinx's despair. Now, what did you guys think?
No, I want to ask Jeff. Because as a newcomer to the series, this is his first time watching this character. Like, this character didn't exist in the series before. So I'm curious how you felt about losing this character and the ending overall for this Act 2.
Well, fun fact, this is not my first deep dive into child murder. I just really have a lot of if you saw my YouTube search history. No, dude. Okay. They fucking did it. They hashtag killed Sabine. I know that this little kid wasn't a fucking big character before, but in the I'll say 3.5 episodes, because we only got her in like half of the third episode of part 1, right?
Yeah.
So in 3.5 episodes, they did a damn good job of making an emotional tie to this kid. They made us care about the kid too, and then they fucking killed the kid, showing us there are no rules. Anyone can die. These are the sorts of things that make a show have stakes. Like, we're still pretty sure Jinx and Vi are going to survive this season.
Right.
But there's no guarantee anymore. So that makes this season so much more meaningful. when you take a character that people love and you take them away, that's what makes a show great, because we don't want the simple, we don't want the black and white. We know we don't live in that world. So we expect our entertainment to not reflect that.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I don't think I think that's one of the things that the show has really exceeded at in the first season. One of the reasons I
Child murder? I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, like the first, like spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen the first season, but like in the first 3 episodes. Well, yeah, maybe I shouldn't spoil it because you're gonna you're gonna rewatch it at some point.
It's fine.
No, you're not gonna do all that. We don't need to do all that because we don't have enough time to actually talk about it.
Good point. Moving on.
Yeah, okay, let's move on to the
spoilers
next.
for
Oh no, I've been moving on to how did you guys feel about it? I fucking loved it. And by the way, when I say I loved it, I do mean like I was literally sitting there on my couch like, oh shit. Like I was like misting. I was feeling it.
Emotionally involved.
That's
I felt the same way. The series is how it's that's how they get you, and that's what Alex was referring to at the beginning of our conversation about this, is that this show is really good about separating the acts and dividing them up into where they individually give you those same emotions. Like maybe if you watched 1 and then 2 and week 1 and then week 2, or watch those 2 in one day and then the next week watch 3, it might not have hit as hard trying to get to 4 and then 5 and then end up at 6. You probably be like, okay, we finally got a good episode. You know what I mean? Like, but when you do it in this break it up into these acts, it actually makes it pretty damn good. So how'd you feel about it?
No, yeah, I agree. Like watching it like that is really helpful. Like in the sense where I remember the episodes as the acts, not really as the episodes, because they blend together so well. And yeah, it was just like a great way to cap this act off. I'm really excited to see how they're gonna wrap it all up. Hopefully, we don't have to wait another 3 years for another season of this show, because it doesn't seem like all the problems are going to be resolved in 3 episodes. It seems like a lot of shit going on.
Don't do that do not do that to us.
Don't Angel season 5 us.
Ophelia said that Ambrasia a deadbeat mama.
Oh yeah,
we didn't talk about that really, but yeah, her daughter is still in a cave.
Yeah,
that's basically
she's getting flowered up.
Mel's in a cave. Yeah, she's in a like what do you call it?
A vase.
Yeah, I'd say she's in like one of those Doctor Strange, one of those Doctor Strange fishbowl things that the watcher put him in.
Yeah, like a weird hallucination. Yeah. So, but I did really love the animation for just like that world. That was pretty cool. Just wanted to say that the animation for the show is just stellar.
Said about that because they didn't really spend any time on it.
Yeah, they just like wanted to let us know. Yeah, she's still here. We're showing some black people. Don't worry.
They're around. It's okay. We can't be racist. We've got black friends in our show. It's cool. I'll say one thing I was also thinking of is the animation's amazing and everything, but one thing I like about this that I think Arcane's actually doing really, really well is so I remember when I was in college, like our freshman bullshit writing class where like we were 18 years old and some kids didn't know how to write a fucking essay. Anyway,
Jesus.
But like one of the things to get us to try and write differently was like breaking down a movie and trying to be like, oh, like don't tell us about the story, tell us about like the film making of it and everything. And the thing was, I chose an anime, and it was trickier because like you're trying to obviously show how good it is, but like you're trying to show these filmmaking tools they're using, but like it's not like, oh, we put a blue filter on this. It's like, no, they just drew it differently.
Right. Yeah.
But like I think they use a lot of filmmaking tricks in this. And a big one that I was that brought this back to my mind was that last scene with little dead girl when she's running and she's, they're using different blocking to like, she's disappearing behind people and coming back out. So it's almost like they're using like different blocking for the camera to give it more stakes. They put it in slow-mo, which gave it more stakes. Like, so that's the thing, is like the other good thing about this show is they are using traditional filmmaking tips and tricks to give it more gravity as well. And I think that's another reason why it's as good as it is.
Yeah, much like the Spider-Verse, they do a lot of things that like makes it feel like there's actually a camera on a set that's moving in that way, that we like as audience members just like understand the language of filmmaking. But also they'll do shit that cameras cannot fucking do, and they just blend that together really nicely, just like really using the medium incredibly well.
Exactly.
But yeah, guys, let us know if you were watching Arcane season 2. If you're not, why not? Like, if you like animation and joy, you should be watching it right now.
Solo, silo, CC, state style, great style, stilo, stay low, style, like state.
Man, Imagine Dragons got range.
I think that's
Solo Silo.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what that's for. Yeah, we're going to Stilo Silo. That's right, guys. We're switching it up. We're going down into the silo. Like, this is a Apple TV Plus. Like, we've been talking about this medium a lot on this podcast for the past couple of years, because they make really great highbrow sci-fi, and this show is kind of just another example of that. Bill, I'll let you go first. Like, just like talking about the first season. Like, how did you feel about the first season? Because we kind of like binge watched that, getting ready for this new season.
Yeah, I binge watched the fuck out of that shit, boy. I was done before all y'all, and I don't remember any of it now.
Right? It's just like
watched all of it about a week
fast.
ago. So that was about a week ago now. So next person? No. No. I first season very captivating, right? Who done it? Mm-hmm. Who done it? Then the who done it turned into nobody done it. Done it is done it. Done it, done it. And the done it don't even know who done it. And then the done it who know who done it might not have done it if he hadn't had to done it because somebody else done it.
Right. I think I got lost in the middle there a little bit, but I picked up what you were saying at the end.
Yeah. So with that being said, no, yeah. First, it got me captivated because Rashida Jones. Then they kill her. I'll never see her again. Okay. Well, then
that was a nasty trick too. They put her as the first name in the opening credits for the first.
They Drew Barrymore'd her.
They Drew Barrymore,
but they didn't have to do that.
Sons of bitches.
You got Paul Atreides, mama.
You got Jessica.
You don't need to get me in with a little bait. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was mad about that. But anyway, then Bass Reeves dies. That's cool, whatever. But he left a lot of clues to figure out how to get to where we end up in season 1. So yeah, it was very impressive. Mama Atreides, she was out here getting it in.
Yeah.
Great
actress, poor American accent.
That's an American accent.
I
think that they covered up her accent being bad by putting her father as a Welshman.
Yeah, fucking putting Jorah Mormont in there, who's also bad at American accents.
He's not doing an American accent in this. In my opinion, he's not doing an American accent. He's just doing his accent. They're both doing something.
So that's a Bear Island accent.
Yeah, I think he's just doing his whatever he did in Game of Thrones, regardless of how he actually sounds in real life. That's what he's doing right now, and so that's how I think they're explaining. I think that's the only reason he got hired. Like, we got to find somebody that makes this make sense,
right?
She keeps doing this during the reads.
Yeah, like the better her acting gets, like the worse her acts, like the more she slips into like her British. I was like, well, fuck. It's like the more she, like, because I always say, like, doing accents is very, very hard, and like doing like acting and everything. Like I feel like it diminishes some of that skill when you have to.
That's why the penguin is genius, because then we're not going to worry about accents. We're going to all do bad ones because this is a fictional place.
Yeah, this is just
Fictional, fictional.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I really like the first season too. Like, I really enjoyed just like sort of the murder mystery aspect of it, and like just the murder mystery and conspiracy aspect of it just kind of like grows and grows. Remind me a lot of Fallout, but nowhere near as tongue in cheek. Which I like that there's like there's space for like 2 post-apocalyptic Fallout shelter.
Fallout was
TV
a funny
shows.
ass game though. Like, yeah, the game itself.
Yeah, I heard that's like pretty funny, and like to their credit, they were able to like kind of nail that kind of comedy, but also like the tragic nature of that show is like really evident too. Like, you feel all the dramatic moments, but yeah, and this was just taking itself way more seriously, more serious. And yeah, the ending where like it's actually not all cool outside was really shocking.
Up to what you thought it would be.
The whole thing, the whole first season is just like people say, like, no, it's actually fine outside. They're lying to you.
Yeah.
But the tragic
nigga get out there, he
is that, yeah, you will fucking die. So we're never seeing Rashida Jones. We're never seeing David Oyelowo.
You just go back.
Oh yeah, they're just burning skeletons. Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I was excited about the second season after I binged in this.
Well, also the thing that got me was that their tape. The thing that got me at the end of the season, you realize that the tape that they've been providing is the shitty tape for when you go outside.
Right. Yeah,
and Walker had Jules steal that tape.
Yeah, that's right.
A long time ago.
That's what almost kept her from being like sheriff, or
but it is also what ended up keeping her from dying, because they kept emphasizing that the tape for down there was better than the up top tape.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that, but that's totally true. It's like a little,
and that means the up top tape is intentionally not good. But they know that the tape down below has to be good enough to support everything, because it has to at least support the fictional presentation of everything is run by the generator.
Right. Yeah, and you gotta you don't really care about these people that you send out to die who asked to leave. But I'm sure they want to allocate those resources to making sure everybody in the actual silo is still alive. But yeah, it's crazy story. Solo silo. Yeah, it was a crazy first season. And this season opens up pretty wild as well. But before we get into it, I do want to ask Brandon, did you actually take this adventure into the silo world?
Yes, it was very fun and entertaining, and I watched all of it. I liked all the grain in the silo.
So much grain.
The grain was immense. I told you he didn't watch it.
Yeah, I forgot. I meant to put Dune.
Watch it. Are you kidding me? This is funnier.
But yeah, not a lot does happen in this opening.
I was so glad that you decided to go after me, because I knew he didn't watch it. We're talking. I was like, "Oh, this is great."
We're getting back. We're getting back to last season, where there's always somebody who hasn't watched at least one.
Let's get back to that.
We're talking about last season of Silo, because I didn't watch that either.
Let's get back to that kind of life where we perform at a ridiculously non-professional level.
Talking to Soylent Green. Yeah, it had a shocking vibe like that. It's like, oh my god.
Soylent Green is people.
Oh man,
Marge isn't anybody fucking listening to me.
So this episode to me was very what do you call it? Legend. What's his name? Not John Legend.
John. Oh,
the Will Smith movie where he
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very different from the book.
Yeah, I've heard that it's very different from
Yeah,
the book.
no, I didn't know that. Yeah, but I get very I Am Legend vibes from this episode because she's the only one there. She's out by herself. She's going through it. She's got to rough it, makeshift all types of items and stuff. Saves herself from the radiation outside, and she realizes that there was once. Well, they show us that there was once a revolution before she went outside, or the events of last season took place, and they took over their silo and were able to leave their silo, but they didn't leave with any suits on or anything. And they all died.
Yeah, kind of just
women and children, just kind of
Yay, child murder.
Really died.
Yeah, you can see the like sort of sliding door situation where this is where the revolution actually was successful in this silo, and they ended up being able to get out of the silo, but they all end up meeting their demise. And we see at the end of see at the end of the last season that there's like dozens of silos out there and like different craters.
Dozens. So there was like tens of thousands.
Yeah, there's
we basically have a Fallout situation where we have a bunch of different silos, just like we have a bunch of different Fallout shelters all over the country, because we see in a backdrop one of the cities that exist in the United States were blown to smithereens.
Yeah.
So this is clearly some type of government funded program, or it's a private entity of some sort that has decided that we need to be burying ourselves underground and not communicating with each other, so that life can be better when we all come up 10,000 years after the radiation has gone away.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious of what the
dinosaurs have come back. You're gonna let dinosaurs. I've never understood that kind of mindset. Like that plan. Like, oh, we'll all stay on the ground until it's safe to go back up. Like, okay, it'll be safe to go back up, and then what do we do? Because we won't have weapons or anything like we should. we won't have planes to be dominant, in the air and shit. I don't know.
Or locks.
I think after every mass extinction, animal life in general has gotten smaller. So
we come out and be
probably giant. We wouldn't be. I mean, there'd still be things like elephant size, but they'd probably be like the size of, I don't know, horses, whatever the new elephants are.
The new elephants.
You know what? I like the way you think, Jeff. I'm here for it now. I want to come out of this silo and ride an elephant horse.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing! That's what scientists should work on.
Yeah,
get to work, science. We do see in like the flashback episode of like the graveyard silo, where right before all the people leave, one of the guys says that like, why didn't Russell open the door? He's talking to his wife, and his wife was just like, well, he was told not to. So we do see that like whoever's like watching everything behind these these cameras behind the mirrors, like in the last silo, that we see that they're clearly monitoring this silo too. So they must be in some sort of control of all of these silos. They're the ones who's pulling the strings. But what did you think of just the fact that like she's sort of making her way through this place and trying to survive, and like kind of discovering that things are very similar to her silo?
Well, I've thought that, like I said, it was a John Legend episode as far as her having tried to survive.
I Am Legend.
John Legend episode.
Is his name John? I think it is.
It's John Legend episode. Okay,
we're just ordinary people.
And she was just trying to take it slow, get her feet,
And to your point,
Robert Neville.
His name was Robert Neville.
Robert Neville.
Which, by the way, whitest name ever.
Yeah, what was the legend about? What the fuck? What was the legend?
But to your point about taking it slow, that is one of the flashbacks that she has with her childhood friend who just ended up being her friend when she grew up, telling her that she was lost in the dark once, and Juliet asked her, "How did you get out without any help?" She's like, it took a really long time. I just went really slow." And we see that her just like sort of taking her time to figure out a way to survive in this world. There's even a place where she's trying to cross the bridge and she is moving extra slow, and just harken back to that little line. I thought it was really well written.
And shout out to Think Story for pointing out that while she was walking around in the silo, there were different graffitis written around, like "Open the door, Russell. We'll get you sooner or later. Suck my cock. Bobby is gay. Call me 333-555-5555." You remember how everybody used to do the 555s?
Don't they still 555 it?
They don't do it as much. Like
know.
nowadays, they just use real numbers, or you'll see a number where it's just like 6 numbers.
I think they use generated numbers now, like because you can use you can Google make a number, a fake number.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think when you hear it that way, I do still hear 555 sometimes. But I think it's like, do you want to keep paying for this goddamn Google account so you can have a real phone number that doesn't matter to anybody? Right. But speaking of which, you can call our number. Okay,
it's 555.
No, it's not. Damn it. It's 323-680-4101. That's 3-4.
If that one doesn't work, you can type in
323-680-4101. That's real life.
There it is right there.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
That part.
Look, I knew it by heart. I told you.
Yeah. I just wanted to put it up there so if you guys want to screen grab that for a sec, do that. But like then in the end of this episode, which she goes through a lot of shit to survive this abandoned silo, and then she comes upon the person you were talking about, Russell. I just want to play this clip because it's pretty creepy. Because we see, just set the scene up. She's making her way through this silo, and that's seemingly abandoned. She finds a door. It seems to be locked. She tries to open it. She doesn't try very hard, but she just kind of fucks off. Starts walking around trying to explore the rest of the area, and that's when this happens.
You tried to open the door. I get it. You see a closed door. What's on the other side? Thing is, you do that again, and I'm gonna kill you.
super creepy.
It was so creepy, but I was so happy when he said that, because you got to remember, he's like one of very few people that is like, when her scenes have been on there, he's the only person who said something basically the entire episode.
Yeah,
yeah.
And it was cool that and we see from all the graffiti that you were saying earlier, this guy's probably been going through a lot of torment. He's had to endure a lot psychologically, and he's probably had to kill a lot of people that he actually knew.
Gotta kill a lot of people.
So
actually, I think he was staying in that thing because the way it looks, everybody was trying to kill his ass.
Right.
It looks like he just said, "Nah, I'm gonna stay in here."
I feel, but with that threat, it feels like he has some way to at least retaliate from inside the safe. He's like, "Hey, I can kill you from in here, and I'll do it. So don't fucking test me. I've killed people that I grew up with since I've been behind this fucking door.
Bitch, I don't know you, but I killed my mama, and I'll fucking kill you."
And in that sense, he's got to be really nice. He's like, "Hey, I get it. You see a door, you want to open it. That's cool. That's cool, man. But if you do that again, I'm gonna fucking kill you." It's such a well-written, just kind of nice moment. Marlon, LOL. Meanwhile, us humans.
Hold on. Sorry.
Which one are you trying to name?
Yeah, go ahead. Start here.
Dylan said in the chat, real question, where do people be people? Sorry, where do people be pooping in silos though? Situation gotta be out of control down there. That's something they don't really explain. Is the
in Harry Potter, before they had plumbing, they would shit on the floor and magic it away. That's legit Harry Potter history.
Yes.
That's fucking ridiculous.
It's amazing. First
No
of all,
wonder
y'all are disrespectful. Y'all so disrespectful. Y'all don't appreciate nobody's culture. I believe that the people in the silo are very much so like the people on Arrakis. I believe
Hogwarts.
That Hogwarts. I believe that they're like that and they don't waste nothing.
Oh yeah,
they don't waste nothing. They just like, I got some friends who have dogs who just they shit and then they eat it. Yeah, that's how they like to. That's how they like to get down. And I think that that's how. Well, not exactly how it goes down in the silo, but maybe to some degree. You know what I mean? They break it down and.
Would it be funny if, like, in the episode in the first season, when Common like coming out of the janitorial closet, is like, that's what his job was, turning all the poop into drinking water. He's like, what I do in there is the most important thing in the whole silo.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, because he came out of the janitorial. Do you know what's up? You know what's behind there?
That was the first question he asked. He was like,
do you know what's behind there?
Why is this toilet wine crunchy?
He was like, nah, I don't know what's behind there. He said, good.
You don't need to know what's behind
there. Told a whole story about his dad, and he's like,
ooh.
But what Alex is now saying is that
what he was really doing, he's like turning the poop into water.
Yeah, you know what goes on behind there? I shit into a bowl and it turned into water. I gotta grab everybody's shit from around the world all through the silo. All I do every day is walk through the silo and collect doo-doo.
Trying to come up with doo-doo and I bring meatloaf recipes.
And I bring it back in, I make it in the water. You want to be my shadow? Nigga, you can never be my shadow. That's kind of how he talked to him.
Yeah.
See, like, and then he killed his ass later. Like, I don't actually, you know what? I was thinking about applying for your shadow, and now I'm good. Seeing what has happened to Craig last week, I will no longer be applying for shadow.
I do not need that job that bad. Marlon, yep, we talk about Dookie. Oh no, sorry. That's response to this. Do you know the dry shit theory? It's something that doesn't smell bad, but it's still shit. Is there any character film series that fits this theory?
Yeah, it's this one. It's this one right now. How do you think they grow the crops? You saw that they have crops in this series. How do you think they grow the crops? Doo-doo, nigga.
Yeah, there's doo-doo.
A little doo-doo and a little water. And what do you get? Corn.
That's how you make it.
Corn. And then what do you get after corn? High glucose corn syrup.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then what do you get after that? Diabetes. That's right.
Exactly.
And that's how the white man holds you down. You see?
Yeah.
Once you get diabetes, what do you get? Say it with me.
I don't know.
Ozempic. Yes, Ozempic.
What?
Yes.
What are we doing?
And then that's when that's how the pharmaceutical companies
or you get a walker because it chopped off your foot.
See what I'm saying? That's how the pharmaceutical companies get in there, man, and get you.
That is, yeah, that's the theory. And it's fun. And it is funny.
I should have had that going while I was talking.
I am excited. Like I loved how this episode ended with just that creepy moment, and then it just like cuts to black, because it just shows how this is like a very personal episode. We're really just trying to grapple with everything that she's figured out since the last season. So I'm excited for them to get more into the mystery. Who's behind the mirror cameras? Who's really running the silos?
Yo, every time we start talking about poop is the best topic on this show. It's just like the The chat blows up. People who don't ever comment in the chat about poop. Oh, you know what?
Somebody puts out like the Dookie.
They'd be like, you know
bat
what?
signal or something.
I swear, one person said they shit their pants one time. I once shit my pants. It's like, well, we weren't talking about that, but poop really gets the chat going. Man. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Look, I'm not mad at that. Don't get it twisted, chat.
Hey, it's everybody poops.
I love it. I mean, pooping and talking about poop. I wasn't talking about pooping, but I do love both. So no need to parse some words.
It's both pretty great. But guys, let us know what you thought of Silo season 1, what you think of Silo season 2. Have you been watching Silo style state? But we're gonna move on to our final topic of the night. That's right, we're going to Arrakis. We are talking about Dune prophecy. He said with this.
I don't think it's something that she relishes doing, but felt was necessary for the sisterhood to lead humanity forward.
Well, I fucked that up. I played the wrong Dune clip, but yeah, we're talking about Dune prophecy. Yeah, before we get into like the episode, I just want to say like I was not really looking forward to this show when it came out. I kind of had the same thoughts when they announced the Penguin TV show, and even Agatha all along. I was just like, I don't think I need these stories. I don't think I want these stories, and especially because like Dune and Dune Part 2 are just so like such an example of Denis Villeneuve's vision and just like the sounds and styles of Hans Zimmer. It's like I don't really want to like watch somebody try to do a TV show version of this, try to emulate his style and ultimately not be able to pull it off because, you know, it's not Denis Villeneuve. But I definitely enjoyed this first episode. There were some parts that just kind of waned for me a little bit. I was like, all right, but on the whole, I enjoyed this episode. What about you? Did you enjoy this first episode of Dude?
Yeah, first thing me being the music person, audio person, first thing I noticed was the music. Like the new Dune kind of theme that they went for.
Oh yeah.
The new Dune kind of thing, because you had the
yeah, and that's one of the things I was worried about. It wasn't going to be as iconic,
right? No, but it was, because I'm gonna play a little bit of it right now.
Gotta sing the Dune song now.
It's emotionally evocative, really.
Yeah,
it really puts you right there,
right
with the characters.
In it. Mm-hmm. Now you want to play the right clip that you were gonna play?
Well, yeah, I guess I could.
I mean, we're here.
Yeah,
now
we're here now. Let's go ahead and talk about Dune. But M. Brandon, what did
hopefully we'll remember to do the timestamp so any of this matters.
Hopefully, we'll see. But M. Brandon, what did you think of this episode?
I want to watch it.
Didn't see it.
I'm just
a lot like you guys. I will say I went into this thinking, why do we need this? We don't need this. I don't need another. Exactly. Like I'm just give me something. I get you're trying to do new, but this isn't new. This is clawing onto your profits. It's better than just another remake, but still, And also, like, what are they called? The Bene Gesserit?
The Benny and the Jets.
The Bennies
and the Gesserit.
And the Bennies and the Jets. I think they're probably, in my opinion, like the most boring part of the Dune world. Like, I just don't give a shit. Okay.
Ooh,
they are.
You know what?
I'm fine with that.
Right.
I get it. Like, I get there's a lot of intrigue, and I get there's a lot of politics going on with them. Maybe I'm just politicsed out. Maybe that's a part of it. But for me, this episode, That's the other thing. I also get that it's the first episode and it's trying to build so much. I didn't start caring till the last 10 minutes of the fucking episode.
Mm.
And it was just, you know, I'm sure it's going to get better. I'm sure by the end it's going to be like, I was fucking wrong. But right now I'm just kind of like, And honestly, it reminded me a lot of when I saw Dune, the first Dune Part 1. I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. I was just kind of meh about it. Right. I feel that way a lot about this episode. And then Dune Part 2, I was like, holy fuck, I was wrong. And then like the last 10 minutes of this, I was like, shit, this is good now. So I feel like it's a lot like that. I'm hoping it's just because it's the first episode and you do have, like, I think it was Marlon pointed out, 10,000 years that you're trying to cover in this. So like, all right.
Yeah,
hopefully that's why I was like, yeah.
I was just reading Marlon's comment. Marlon said, I learned from this episode that 10,000 years may pass, but electronic music still rocks.
Electronic music is timeless.
These nuts.
Also, did you guys read the Dune books? I didn't read the books.
I have not read any of the Dune books.
Hell no, man. I'm not reading.
Did they have a Terminator history?
So apparently,
or was that just like they were like, hey, people like robots killing things, let's throw that in too?
Well, according to heavy spoilers. No, I'm just
right. I mean, yeah, the Frank Herbert in the original Dune trilogy, he did like allude to there being like a robot revolution in the past, and that's why they don't really use technology like that. Like there's no AI.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like, you know, there are no like robots and droids like you would expect in like, you know, 50,000 years in the future or something like that. Like,
okay.
There's no like AI basically. But they never really touch on that in those books. But then his son and another co-writer ended up writing like a bunch of different books where they really delved into like the lore of the.
Yeah, this felt very Silmarillion. Is that what the Lord of the Rings prequel is called?
Right. Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, all right, you put too much on me already. I don't now, like, you already burned me out.
Yeah, like there's a lot of world building in this first episode. I feel like like first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes are definitely the strongest of this episode, but I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed
I'll be right back. My eyes are getting dry and it's because of this heater.
Did you just try rewatching the episode? Is that what?
No.
Rib shot. Yeah, I did enjoy like a lot of the world building. I liked a lot of the characters, but I feel like because this is the first episode and we're doing a lot of building up, there's not a clear focus of who like our real main character is. I mean, I guess it's Vela, but they haven't spent enough time with any of these characters to make me really emotionally invested. Then they hit you with like a Game of Thrones-esque
right off
drama bomb at the end of the episode.
I will say, so I just checked out IMDb. The episode's rating is a 7.7. And honestly, I'm like, all right, you know, like I probably would have gone closer to 7.2.
Okay.
Maybe a 6.8. But like, I mean, it seems like the fans were also just kind of like, that's the other thing. After Dune Part 1 and Part 2, I feel like the bar was really fucking high.
Yeah.
And that's definitely working against them.
I'm surprised that this didn't. Sorry, no, you're about to say.
You go ahead and say what you're surprised.
All right, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm just surprised that this show didn't come out next year. I kind of wish that it did come out next year, so we would have a little bit more separation from Dune Part 2, and also like have a little bit more of a buffer between the next movie because I'm not sure when they're going to become when that's.
You don't like making money?
Hey, it's not. I'm not making no money.
No, I'm just saying that's what they would say. To
it's
you.
like, well, let's do it now.
Yeah, Warner is not.
Do we know how much they spent making this? I'd be interested to find that out.
I don't know. Let me look that up.
Yeah,
it's got to be in the tens of millions, right? At least.
Oh, yeah. They spent at least 100 million on this. At least.
Yeah. So I'm wondering. I'm interested to know.
200, Alex.
I'm interested to know for how much for the season and how much for the specific episodes. I think both of those will be very interesting numbers.
100 Millows.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, the episode has a 7.7, but the show overall has a 7.6.
That's weird. It's one episode.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that this episode was a turd. Let's just call a turd a turd.
A turd.
You know, like this one was like, you want it to be good because it's Dune, but to Jeff's point, this show is supposed to be about the Bene Gesserits, and they are the worst part of the whole show so far. They're the most boring. They have the most boring parts of the television show. So when we're talking about doing television, the main character needs to be the most compelling. And we have got nothing compelling so far from the Mother Superior.
To the point where, like, if you just were thrown into this with no outside information, I would argue you might still not know, like, if you didn't like see the ads and the trailers or know, like, or know that it's supposed to be about the Bene Gesserit, the Benny and the Jets.
Almost nailed it.
You if you didn't know it's supposed to be about Benny and the Jets and you just watched this episode, you might not know who the main character is.
Yeah, and if you just jumped into the middle of this episode, you might not know what the fuck we're talking about.
Well, and honestly, that's another thing that's lacking. If you haven't watched Dune, you're so fucking lost. Which I get it. Come on.
Well,
did you her using the voice? No explanation.
They said that this is something that I just came up with.
But you don't know what that is.
Right, but they've established what it does. You may not know what it is, but what I'm thinking is by the time you've finished this, you will be caught up, or at least where you need to be to then start watching Dune. I don't think there'll be any what we would feel like are real spoilers for Dune in this, but you'll get little glimpses of it, of what we've already seen, which is, I think we already kind of saw once. Saw like a child with blue eyes, you know what I'm saying? I think that may be
the bartender.
The bartender. No, yeah, that too. But my point is,
was there a kid? I didn't even notice the fucking kid. That's just
there was like a vision that the little Asian lady had, and like, there was like a little flash of somebody with some blue eyes.
Okay.
Tell you what, if Flash Gordon ends up in this show, #1 show for me.
Oh yeah, no,
that'd be a
doubt.
great cameo.
yeah.
But yeah, the main character, Mother Superior, she's not. Let me tell you something. I looked up all kinds of photos for this thumbnail for this goddamn show, and there wasn't one that didn't have her in it.
Yeah, Sister Mary Clarence here, just not doing it for me.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. Like,
she doesn't sing once.
What kind of nun are you?
She doesn't even like basketball. What kind of nun is that? She's just, I don't know if it's her or if it's the writing, but this episode was not good to her, especially as much. I'm not saying it's her, or you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying she's a bad actress. I'm just saying this episode did not do her any favors, especially since places like Los Angeles have her face everywhere. Right?
Or where?
Yeah,
everywhere. So now you're either going to be looked at on Monday as like, ugh, get it together, girl.
That's what I'm doing.
Or you're going to be looked at as like, you know, yeah, you're done. Like, that's it for you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And people do that off one episode.
Yeah, people are very reactionary. And I do think that's like one of the things. It's funny because I think that Benny and the Jets are like one of the coolest aspects of the Dune universe. Like when that's how I felt like the first two movies, just because they seem like Lady Jedi. Is like, and that's like I love Jedi. And yeah, I love that.
No, you don't say.
Ladies, you hate ladies.
I love Jedi and I love ladies. And no, it's. I just thought it was like a cool, aspect of just like these super powerful, influential characters who are also sort of like morally ambiguous. We don't really know how good they are for the universe. Probably not the best. And just I think the idea of that faction is ultimately a little bit more fun than watching a show about them. It was like, I don't know if a show just strictly about the Jedi Council would be that interesting. But
you want to watch the spies or you want to watch the rogues,
Yeah, like or have them be
they're supposed to spy. Be better spies.
Be better at your job. So yeah, like I feel like maybe that might be one of the weaknesses of the focus of the show, but I have faith that I think that stories like this with the universe this big benefit from a serialized show like this, where you can drip things out over multiple episodes rather than try to cram everything out.
Cramming it in. Ew, Alex. You're nasty.
I agree with you there, but I'll tell you what, I don't know if 6 episodes is enough. Based off the first one, it needs if they're going to keep this pace, 6 episodes is not going to be enough to get through a good enough of a story.
Yeah, it's I'm sure that they have there's a lot to wrap up just from like what happened in this first episode.
Well, I'd like to know how long the next episode. Go ahead.
No. Yeah, that this first episode was pretty long. But just to go through a rundown of the episode itself, Mother Superior Raquella dies at the top, and young Vela Harkonnen uses the voice to force her rival Dortia to kill herself, rather than allow Dortia to destroy the Sisterhood's breeding program as something impure. Now, this is a clip that I played earlier on accident. I'm gonna play it on purpose now.
Honestly, I think it fit well when you played it, though.
I don't think it's something that she relishes doing, but felt was necessary for the Sisterhood to lead humanity forward.
And that was the showrunner, Anna something.
Kendrick.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that was Anna Kendrick.
Yep.
I forgot.
Surprised you didn't recognize her.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, how did I forget?
Yeah, just finished Pitch Perfect 7.
She's so good.
I do love her.
She's fine. I like.
Y'all
her.
are getting a letter from her tomorrow.
Talking about me in public.
You mean I'll have a signature? Okay.
I didn't even have to ask for this autograph.
Worth it.
Starting my autograph book.
I didn't even pay for the paper.
This is the signature of Anna Kendrick's lawyer. 30 years later, Valia is Mother Superior and is near to placing one of her own on the imperial throne in the form of Princess Yanez, Emperor Javico Corono's daughter. We didn't really get to see any of the Coronos in like the previous in the Dune movies, so this is a different emperor.
Yeah, they're like a Batman gang family that we didn't see.
yeah, there's like one of the rogues gallery that we didn't really get to see. But
you heard about them.
But we get another, as one show dies, like we finished with the Penguin and Mark Strong. We don't get to see him on that show, but we get to see him as the Emperor in this show.
You mean cool we didn't get to see him after he died in that show?
Oh yeah, well he didn't die in the show, but he's definitely dead. Yeah, he's definitely dead.
So
he gone.
Same with Clancy Brown. After he died in Penguin, we got him in Invincible Fight Girl. Like people are getting resurrected.
Everybody's in Invincible Fight Girl, but no, I'm just saying we always see Archie in everything. He's always Archie to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's gosh, I love that movie. More people need to watch Rock and Roller.
I want to be a real rock and roller.
But yeah, like, what did you guys think of just like the Biddy Gesserit's? Sorry, I pronounced that wrong. Biddy and the Jets. Their plan unraveling with Princess Yanette, because we've already seen in Princess in Dune Part 1 and Part 2, they're not the best at planning things. Sometimes their plans go awry. Billiam, what did you think of like their schemes behind the scenes?
The schemes behind the scenes. Well, I mean, that's what they do, right? It's kind of like slavery mixed with fucking espionage, mixed with like some kind of like
slaves espionage.
Yeah, slaves espionage.
That just sounds like I'm insulting some women. I'm okay with that.
Or slaves. Or slaves. It could be all of it. Yeah. Slave espionage, man. Yeah, fuck that shit, man. Fuck all the women, man. No, not all women, but them women. You know what I'm saying? Like them women, they're on some weird shit, man. And the sneaking makes it worse.
Yeah, and then like the whole Jedi, like it's one of the reasons I feel like there's that parallel with the Jedi, where it's like the Jedi kind of fucked up if you really look into it, which they didn't do that until later movies, but Dune
no, they always did it.
I mean, like in New Hope, when they're like
there's no reason. There's no reason to make this. Let's just. I'm just saying, yeah, I feel you with your point you're making.
But I do want to show this clip real quick of like the one of the Bene Gesserit training sessions, because it was like really dramatic. Where this lady does like just to set up the scene. It's a part where it's basically just Bene Gesserit training. I don't want to set it up too much.
Liz, thank you. Oh, our nips just touched. Mine are so hard.
Mine are different sizes.
It's unorthodox training. It's not. It's not it's not standard training that you would see.
We quit,
but it's very.
We quit. We're going on strike.
Oh,
Jeff, I'll send you the paperwork.
Do it.
We're going on strike.
How familiar are you with Friends?
A pretty
very goddamn familiar.
You have some? That's cool. Oh,
actually, no. I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about
something. No more since you keep playing that goddamn video.
It's a very, very small, quick moment of it. But do you remember that episode where Phoebe and Joey are playing chess? But it's literally just they have the chess pieces and they're doing it like checkers.
Yeah,
that's Benny and the Jets in this. They think they're playing chess, but it's like that's not how you play it, man. That's still just checkers.
It's exactly.
Yeah,
like Benny and the Gesserits.
Yeah,
they are. That's what they are. They're not Benny and the Jets. They're Benny and the Gesserits, and that's clearly off-brand.
Bertha and the Jehovah's Witnesses got to get their shit together.
It's another T-shirt.
I love how this great house. This is still Atreides, right?
So Atreides are in there. There's the
anyway. Yeah, that's
I'm talking Merlin is Harkonnen, right?
So yeah, Mark Strong, Falcone. He is
Merlin.
Coronado, I think, or something like that. He's the Emperor. What's his name? Corino, Javico Corino. And he's the one who's selling off his daughter. And then the main Biddy and the Gesserits lady, she's Harkonnen, and she's like trying to change
the Coronado.
That's the Emperor Corino.
Coronado.
Emperor Falcone.
Yeah.
What casinos are they robbing?
So yeah, Emperor Falcone. I just feel like it shows that Arrakis has always been untameable. So it's crazy that for tens of thousands of years they have trouble mining this spice on this planet, and they don't ever change their mind of like, hey, you know what, man, never mind. Never mind.
I also like that 10,000 years before Dune is basically just the 80s in Miami in their universe. The kids are just going to clubs and doing spice.
Yeah, but not one skyscraper. It's crazy.
I mean, literally at one point they just take a bump. They're not even doing it like all future, subtle, sexy drugs. They're just like, all right, let's just do a key bump of spice. Whatever.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get some taco seasoning on here. All right, let's have some fun tonight.
And I'm curious because like we do get our Yannette. We kind of get a lot of characters that are similar to characters we know from Dune Part 2. Like Princess Yannette is sort of Paul Atreides-ish.
Which I feel like is a mistake that a lot of shows like this make. We get it. We have the characters that we love. Don't just try and remake them. Give us new characters with their own depth and story.
Right. Yeah, and I see that they have like the little changes. Like Yannette seems a little bit more rebellious than Paul.
She's got more balls than Timothy Chalamet. I get it.
Yeah, she definitely has a bigger penis than Timothy Chalamet. But yeah, like I just I feel like like the similarities are there maybe to the to the show's detriment. And like we do get a little bit of her normal life. I'm curious what you guys think of her joining the Bene Gesserit and like having this princess carry over, because I was personally asking the question.
Do we care? Are we caring about that?
Like what did you think about that?
Well, she's gonna be a truth seer. She's gonna become one of them.
Yeah.
Which is kind of common.
Yeah. Because we see Florence Pugh's character do that in Dune, or like we see the after effects of that.
Which again, we've seen this.
Yeah.
Look, I think we should just get to the part where that actually matters that we haven't seen before, which is our fake Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, let's talk about him.
Fake Charlie Hunnam. I don't know if you watched Raised by Wolves. Jeff, I'm trying to figure out which name to call you.
No, I don't know what that is, but
Vikings? Is that Vikings?
Got a little Charlie Hunnam right here.
Oh yeah. No.
He was an undeclared.
Yeah.
Watch that show.
That show was fucking awesome. It was not good, but it was awesome.
Shout out to Charlie Hunnam, friend of the show.
I love Charlie Hunnam, man.
Yeah.
Even when the movie he's in isn't that good, he's great in it.
And there are many.
Looking at you, King Arthur.
I met him at a spa one time. It was very fun. Really good time. Good guy.
Now, one thing I'll say on going back to the Jehovah's Witnesses and the beekeepers. So the whole like, all right, it seems like we're getting a lot of just kind of like new versions of the same characters. So evidently this is based off the novel Sisterhood of Dune. So that might not be like the showrunner's fault technically, but I mean, you should still see and you should still be aware enough to be like, hey, this is, I mean, things are always changed from books. This is one of those things that you should have changed.
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
And then sorry, just
you're good.
Talk about more about the Desmond Hart that you pulled up. You'd mentioned earlier. Renowned Imperial soldier Desmond Hart warns Javico about rebellious forces growing against him, and Javico indicates that he is uneasy about the betrothal. And yeah, we'll get more about the betrothal later about Javico.
We are introduced to this guy though because he said he allegedly survived being attacked by the Fremen, or allegedly the Fremen, but it was actually what Paul Atreides and his father go through, where the houses came together and actually betrayed him.
I didn't get any of that. Honestly, I also wasn't trying to decipher it. It didn't engage me enough to want to be like, what's happening?
The only reason it engaged me in that moment was because I really like that actor. Like, I really love that actor. And he in Raised by Wolves, he was fucking phenomenal. He's like I said, he's the fake Charlie Hunnam. He's a broke Charlie Hunnam.
I got you. Lazy Eye Jax is fun.
Yeah,
he's like Charlie Hunnam's evil twin.
And he's got
nigga can never play a hero.
He's got that weird eye-piercing face.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he got that one little like it's like the fuck's going on with this motherfucker?
It's not lazy. Lazy is too active.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this one's normal, this one's at a rave.
And so with that being said, I paid a lot of attention to what he was saying when he was saying it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he was basically just explaining everybody assumed that they got all wiped out by the Fremen because nobody survived. But he was a lone survivor coming back to let everybody know, like, no, it wasn't even the Fremen. It was our people. It was supposed to be people who are our allies. So I think we got a whole bunch of shit coming. What do y'all think was going on with him watching the video, Falcone watching the video of fake fake Charlie Hunnam, just standing outside with the pump with the thumpers and the worm.
Honestly, that was one of those ones where I wasn't really sure what was going on, and that was one of the parts I did like. A lot of times I have at the very least seen what's happening on the show, and it's always just, and a lot of it's mostly based not on like, hey, I've read this book that the show is based off or anything. It's just like, hey, this is typically how you write movies or shows, you know? Like that movie Valentine, that horror movie way back in the day. I was like, I knew how everyone was going to die. I knew who was dying next, and I knew who the killer was in like 15 minutes. I was like, well, this is a waste of my money. Thank God.
Waste of time.
They're $6 nowadays. Not anymore. But so I liked that this was one that I wasn't really, I didn't know what was happening. Or I should say I didn't know why it was happening. And I was happy with that. So I'm interested. That's the storyline that I am interested in. And that's what I want to keep watching.
Yeah, because he does mention surviving the attack. But it turns out, like, we know at least, you know, he wasn't attacked by these other insurgents. It was like a sandworm that seemingly swallowed him whole, but he seems like he still survived.
Well, but I mean, even before that, when he first stands up in that view cube or whatever the fuck you want to call it, it was like he was the Scorpion King, just like you see nothing, and then he just stands up and all the sand falls off him.
Yeah.
You know? So like, what was even that?
Yeah, I do feel like that this is going to be like, this is our evil Duncan Idaho, where like, what if Duncan Idaho met with the Fremen, ingratiated himself with the Fremen like he did, and realized like, hey, these guys are actually fucking cool. But then after that, he sort of like weaponizes their politicism and is just like, no, we should actually be taking the fight against this Bene Gesserit because they're controlling everything.
It sounds like you're saying bitch ass nigga when you say Bene Gesserit.
Is that not what they're called?
You Bene Gesserit?
This it kind of sounds like Benny and Jezebel, but no, I do I appreciate like the mystery there, like how that's going to unfold and see how evil Duncan Idaho turns out later on in the series. But yeah,
match up with. Oh no, go ahead.
Oh no,
go ahead.
What else happens? Yeah, like then we move on to Desmond suggesting to Pruitt that the Sisterhood has an unacceptable influence over the Imperium. He confesses that he has been given a special power. He psychologically burns Pruitt to death, which kills Kasha as well. At least that's what it says in this description that I got off Wikipedia.
Child murder. What up?
We got another one, baby.
There's the gloves are off. And when you kill a kid, you can
kill everybody. He might have just.
I think that he like what he's tried to say. Oh yeah, that was a phrase. Oh yeah,
sure was. No, I was saying when you kill a kid, that means you can kill anyone on the show. No one's safe.
I said it. I said it. You know what? Shout out to me.
Yeah, like it definitely raises the stakes. You know, obviously there has to be some dramatic tension behind it. You can't just like kill a kid in the first 5 seconds and then
disagree.
Then your show's good.
You can kill this kid in the first 5 seconds. Let me tell you something. He was a fucking asshole.
You're not allowed to have a machine Charmander. You know this,
right? That was pretty wild. I was like, where'd you even get this, kid? That's like a kid with a little bag of heroin. It's like, this is so illegal.
You know what's going on there? Based on what the kid was talking about, I'll tell you what. This is one of those ones where the dad's like, it's fine. Give him a knife. He's 7. What's the worst that's going to happen? Yeah. And the mom's just sitting there like, thought a pocket knife was okay, huh?
Yeah. This is a day in the principal's office right now together.
You bring his finger to the hospital, get sewn back on.
Yeah, he's sleeping on the couch today. Yeah. But no, actually a better cop would be like if he had like, rather than just like having a little bag of heroin, this is a little kid with like an 1800s musket. Like this is from so long ago and it's so dangerous. Like, where did he even get this?
Man. And the dad was just like, it's so old. What are you going to do with it? And then the second he dropped it, it fucking went off. And everyone at the party is like, what the fuck?
Exactly. A musket is wild.
Yeah. If your 8-year-old is like shot a musket in the middle of your dinner party.
Tell you what, I'd fucking love that kid.
I would
that's my child.
at your dinner party.
Dinner party or my wedding?
Dinner party, specifically.
So
lower stakes.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fucking with that little motherfucker.
Also, it's his wedding. If going back to Invincible Fight Girl, if Mikey wants to get married and shoot off a gun, Mikey, holy fuck, this is the south of the outer space.
Hold on a minute.
I feel offended. I was checking.
No, wait. The south of the outer space.
The child is getting married and shooting off guns at the wedding, or actually at the rehearsal dinner.
Yeah, and it's
crazy. I'm literally like from outer space, the ground, outer space.
Geographically, how's that work in my brain?
How does that work in my brain?
It's the planet of Alabama.
Roll Tide. No, so Scroll Tide. I did like Princess Yannette's reaction where, like she sticks up for him and makes sure he isn't punished initially. But then she's like, if you pull that shit after we're married, I will fucking stab you myself, you little shit. I love that. She don't play.
That's what
I love her. She's my favorite character right now.
That's what I was going to mention is that she straight up showed her ass with very few. In my opinion, they didn't use her enough. Should have been using more of her, using more of that Asian lady since she seems to have played a big part and everything. I didn't really feel the same amount that I felt for that kid dying. I didn't really feel that for her dying,
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck.
Right? Like either way, you should be happy he's dying or you should be sad that he's not. Well, you know what I mean? And I wasn't either for her.
I was happy people died.
Not for her. I was like,
oh, and the show too. Yeah.
Good people died on both sides.
Sorry. That was good.
Oh man, sorry for everybody who may have PTSD out there. I didn't mean to do that.
Good news, it'll get worse.
It's getting much worse. I've been the best at making it worse. No one better than me than making it worse than me. Sorry, oh god. But yeah, she's showing off to be proving to be the problem that they thought that she would be. I think she done already got pregnant and fucked up the whole damn process in this episode.
I think that's actually going to be a part of it. I think that it's going to be now she's going to be trying to be like, oh no, it's cool. We fucked. And then everyone's going to be like, he was like 6. And she's going to be like, but he was going to be my husband. It's cool. We fucked. This is his baby. Don't kill him. And I think this is going to, I feel like that's where it's going to go in the sense of her being, holy Bill Clinton of me, huh? I feel like her motivation would be trying to protect the child that's in her for the rest of the season.
Yeah, once she knows she's pregnant, it's up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that.
And then her baby ended up being like the most powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Lisa Nagai.
It's exactly.
Yeah, I could see like it's sort of transpiring that way. For whatever reason, I didn't even think of it in that way. I was more just like thinking because that bartender was looking at him a little too hard. I was thinking that maybe she's gonna just tell someone that she was sleeping with someone who was not her husband. I could definitely tell that that's the queen. I know what the queen looks like.
No, that's
a princess.
I mean, that's not a bad line of thought.
The bartender ends up being the ancestor of Zendaya.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm glad they're not doing is like, this is the ancestor of this person and this person. Like we're not getting like direct like lines of.
I'm worried it's gonna go there though.
It could very. I mean, how could it not? To some degree, we're talking about like 10,000 years before the events of the movie we're watching.
Well, we're getting definitely our two main houses, like the Atreides and the Harkonnen. Like we do see, we get like at the beginning of the movie, or at the beginning of this episode, they talk about just how the Harkonnen got sort of shunned in society because I guess they were seen as cowards in the Big Machine War.
I didn't get that. The way I was hearing it, I was like, wait. So they helped end it? Oh, I understand. I misunderstood. I thought it was saying like, hey, the people that ended the machine war, where you're like, fuck those guys. I was like, shouldn't you be happy that they killed Skynet? Shouldn't you not try and be angry at John Connor?
Maybe.
Right? You would think. He saved you. But no, it was like the Atreides are like seen as the heroes, and the Harkonnens apparently
got it.
Who ran away.
Are the bitch ass general who's like, no, the machines are cool too.
Right.
Okay.
But it's like,
I'm back.
She feels like that they were slighted, but at the same time, she won't appoint them I don't know, we call them Bene Gesserit.
A broodmare.
She won't appoint them a Jedi breeder.
Yeah. That's where she's like still
because she said that
a Force summon.
Because so it's like
rim shot.
So it's like oh wait, yeah, this is the new that's the new rim shot.
It's great.
So she's clearly aware that her family does, like she even says that her family has a black spot on it, like and they don't deserve an heir. So to me, to a degree,
aren't the brooding Jesuits supposed to like give up their family name or whatever?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know about that, Laura. But I don't see her referring to herself as an Harkonnen in this episode.
But I mean, it feels like her motivation is like,
yeah, no, she does.
You called my dad a bitch, so I'm gonna fuck the entire universe over.
Yeah, they called her Lady Harkonnen. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that is weird. Like, I'm curious how that plays. Like, just what her relationship is with her family, or if, like, once you become Bene Gesserit, just like, are you able to just completely excommunicate? It's like, politically, I don't really fuck with it. I'm just doing our thing over here.
Yeah, you think me and Jeff don't know nothing? We know stuff.
No, I don't.
You don't know nothing.
Everybody here.
I'm picking up on keywords and just being like, simile.
He's like, to be honest with you, I didn't even watch this episode.
Now I do think that, like, you know, just to talk about the cliffhanger ending where we get the death of Pruitt and who was the other girl, Kasha, how they burned alive, basically. I like it is written down here that like the guy it is written that the guy killed him with his like mental powers. He like psychologically killed him, but I don't think that that's necessarily true. Like, did you guys think it was like maybe a poison? Because the other woman died as well.
So like the thing is, like, what we've seen in Dunes Part 1 and 2, we don't see like a lot of like magic. Like it's one of those an advanced alien species or whatever. Their technology could be so advanced it seems like magic, but in the Dune movies, they still make it very clear this is technology, or science or some shit, So like a part of me was wondering with the stupid dead little kid, was like so it also seemed like a poison, where so my whole thing is like, all right, so he got the little robot lizard and like he stabbed it with his knife. Was there a poison on the knife? And then this is the first time we see the kid playing with it again, and then like he's just waiting out the time for the poison to start taking its effect. So that would make sense. But then the question becomes like, all right, how did old
Asha,
old Hottie with a body burn up?
Asha. Hey,
so It's interesting. I don't think he has some mental powers. I think there's some explanation behind it we haven't been privy to yet.
Yeah, man.
It would also make sense that he's probably working with one of the bomb basket juice lovers, and like one of them is like slipped some poison at the same time. You know, this is going to be like Badadabadak Cumberblop, where I'm never going to say the right name.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about all the different names.
I need to get that clip. Cumberbatch.
It's gonna be like 42 different T-shirts we're gonna create on this.
Oh no, not a T-shirt.
Do it like Clue the movie. Every T-shirt's different.
That T-shirt wasn't. I mean that thing wasn't a T-shirt idea. It was a drop idea, but I like it.
Yeah, like I'm excited to see how this series is gonna wrap up. Oh yeah, like I wanted to ask you, like, did you think that this is poison or powers? Because we do, just to play devil's advocate, I do think it's poison. But we do see like the Bene Gesserit have powers like the voice.
Hey man,
do you think they'll extemporize on that kind of stuff?
Hey man, situation is serious. That's right. You don't mess with it's a poison, man. Don't mess with a bitch with a big booty and a smile. Poison.
Also, though, don't they explain the voice using science?
Hold on, what did you say, Joe?
Don't they also explain the voice using science, like a way that they're able to use their vocal cords triggers something in the base of the brain?
Yeah,
like so. Even that, it's they're like, no, it's not powers, it's science.
Right? Yeah, that's a good point. They do.
Bill
try to, like,
Nye would be very impressed by you. Will be very proud of you right now.
Yeah, there would be a lot of nerds who would say that's.
Are you bowing? Oh, I'm about to.
What?
I thought you were getting up to bow.
With science.
And then I was going to give you an applause, but that wasn't what you're doing. So okay, yeah. What were we about to say? Oh, you asked me about something.
We were talking about how the Benedict Jumper Punch were blinded with science.
Blinded with science. Remember Weird Science? It was fucking great.
Yeah, I like the show too. But yeah, poison.
Right, the show was good.
It
was hot.
Yes. You said it's poison over powers. You don't think that it's any?
Yeah,
he's saying that it was poison over powers.
That's right. I'm not thinking. I'm saying.
You're thinking.
With my chest
saying it. You're feeling it.
Buddha Cafe asked, did Prophecy have a pre-screening? It did in some theaters, but I just watched it on Max today. The first episode came out on Max yesterday, right?
Yeah, on Sunday. Yeah, so go check that out if you have a Max subscription. If you don't, borrow your friend's password for a few days. Go watch it at his house or her house.
Tell that lazy ass motherfucker to let you use I guess you're the lazy one.
Science up your vocal cords. Use the voice. Get the password. Come on.
Actually, yeah, no, we're teaching those classes every Thursday at 7 to 8:15 p.m. on the Bantha Bunch show right here, live every Thursday at 7 or 8:15 p.m. Pacific time. Get with it, or get ran over.
But that pretty much concludes our conversation about Dune Prophecy. Like,
this was that you guys disappointing, but a lot more disappointments than I thought they were going to be. But you know what? Still a good TV show. Visuals were crazy. Things that I thought I wasn't going to see, I saw, and I will give the ship to people ratio that they use. You know what I'm saying? Like all that kind of stuff. I like all of it. I'm good with everything. No inconsistencies. It was just kind of boring.
Right. Yeah, you would probably say
that's not good enough.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like everything. It's like if you went on a set and you filmed something and you'd be like, man, nothing went wrong. Like I went out here and we did everything we wanted to do. We got every shot we wanted to get. It took no time. We didn't go over budget. We didn't go over time. but it was boring. It was just really boring.
Yeah.
It's boring. This was a letdown, but this has a lot of promise and there's a lot of potential here. I guess I'm just hoping they make that potential kinetic, you know?
Yes, I feel like you're absolutely right. And I am in the same group of hope. Very glad though that this one came out with one episode the first week, not 2 episode or 3 episode drop, right?
Yeah.
Like
like they're just doing it in like a normal show.
Yeah, I was honestly, when I was turning it on, I was like, please don't even give me 2 episodes to start and then 1 episode.
Right.
I don't have more bandwidth, you know?
Yeah,
I think that helps. I think it helps an opening weekend for a show like this because the first episode was so like slow.
I also wonder if a part of the problem is coming off of Penguin and that thing's success. Like, I wonder if like this came out a month later, if we would have been giving it more
fanfare.
Like, we wouldn't be comparing it as much.
More grace.
Yeah.
More grace, letting it breathe a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think that you could be right, but you know, also it could be that thing where it is a slow build.
Yeah.
It is on the same channel. I mean, service, whatever it is, however you watch TV, you get it. You pay the same people to watch this.
But it's all going to the same place.
Yeah, man. I don't even remember what I was gonna say because of that shit. God damn you, Disney! You done bought every goddamn thing.
But just like compared to Penguin, like it's a very different show. The Batman is a very different movie than Dune and Dune Part 2. So I was kind of walking in knowing we're gonna get a slow build, and I do think that hopefully in the long run, an episodic nature of a TV show will lend better to this form of storytelling because there's a lot to fucking unload. But regardless, the pacing could have just been a lot better in this first episode. But we'll see what happens next week. Just to round out some of this stuff in the chat, Dylan did say it's tough to follow Dune 2. It's like LeBron retiring, then expecting Bronny Jr. to bring a championship to the Lakers. I'll watch, but yeah, a bit disappointing.
Yeah, I agree. It's like when Jordan retired and then went to play baseball. It's like, you know, it's interesting. I'll watch it, but it's not the same sport I was looking for. Yeah.
He said when Michael Jordan retired.
You're goddamn right. I'm gonna always pull out Jordan over LeBron. Fuck you.
Oh, I love it. I fucking
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Jordan guy myself too.
Correct.
But Buddha Cafe said in the chat, you guys need the terror music from Ferris Bueller's Day Off when Ferris called on line 2 for Ed Rooney.
Oh, I got it right here. No, I'm joking.
I did in college have a hat that read Abe Froman, Sausage King of Chicago, and I missed that hat. I miss that hat more than some friends that have passed away.
Buddha Cafe. You know how long it took me to get just that? It took me just to find it. I had to watch 42 minutes of Reading Rainbow to find that.
It's cool. Just go through your Ferris Bueller Betamaxes. It's cool.
Yeah. This was really hard.
And before we get out of here, like wrap things up, I do want to just play a clip of a teaser for next episode, next week of Dude Prophecy.
Yes, thank you. Oh, our nips just touched. Mine are so hard.
Mine are different sizes.
So can't wait to see how that unfolds.
I mean, he doesn't love us. He doesn't.
That's
love
it's gonna be really interesting.
But he doesn't love us.
I love you.
You've done that so much. I'm literally just realizing my go-to fall asleep show for the past 2 weeks has been 30 Rock. And I couldn't figure out why I was suddenly thinking of fucking 30 Rock again. You motherfucker. You literally inceptioned me. You piece of shit.
You're welcome. I can't wait till you get to that episode. You're like, oh my god,
season 6.
Yeah, it's pretty far in there.
You're on your way.
I'll still be playing this clip. But
we will have found a different clip out of it. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, we don't do bits here on this show.
No.
But
We're hard-hitting journalists.
But then, Brandon, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
Thank you for asking. You can always try and Skype me, Don Cheadle's driveway at littledickie2.com. It's
because of
the hackers.
The hackers.
The hackers. You try and find Jeff Madel on Facebook at MadelJeff on Instagram. But as always, the easiest way is just be right here on Monday nights and watch me talk out of my ass and pretend I know shit.
Yes. That is our profession.
Yes, we drink and we know things.
No, we
one
pretend.
wise man says.
We know things.
Dylan said, haha, subscribe to the channel forever. Thanks so much, man. We had a lot of fun with you guys tonight. Bill, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
Alejandro, you can find me right here at NerdsatNite and the Drunk Banthas channel, whichever channel you're watching from. And also you can find me on Drunk Banthas on the Instagram at Drunk Banthas, and on Twitter it's drunk_Banthas, and at NerdsatNite it's on Twitter it's nerds_night. So go over there, hit us up on all of the things and hang out with me and talk bullshit about stupid nerdy teams.
Yeah, come hang out with us, man. It's always a lot of fun. Thank you so much for listening to the
also you can find me every Thursday at 7 every Thursday at 8:15 p.m. Pacific time on the Bantha Bunch Show. Come on, hang out with me.
That is true, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, but don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get updates on new videos. Check us out on Twitter, IG, TikTok, Letterboxd, likewise, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas. Till next time, stay safe, my little dead children. And be with you.